son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Hey everybody, welcome back for episode 30 of Super Enabler Bros Show. I'm Jason of Corpse Sled Gaming, accompanied as always by my excellent co-host, Chris the Old Ass Retro Gamer. What's up, Chris?
Not much, man.
Another familiar face making
Uh-oh.
his second appearance on this show. For the first time ever, someone has done that. We got Church of the Game Grinder. What a motherfucker.
How's it going?
It's going great now.
Glad you guys have me back.
Groundbreaker.
The Holy Triumvirate is all
Yeah.
assembled here, so it's
Changing,
gonna be a good one.
Changing up a yearly tradition to start a new
We
yearly
yes,
tradition.
It's sad to say, but it's happening anyway. So instead of our yearly end of the year episode of the Game Tenants podcast having Chris on, it's the yearly end of the year Enabler Bros show with Church on. So it's still happening. It's just a little altered, but
As is tradition.
happy to have it happen nonetheless, because it was gonna happen anyway if it was in podcast form or us just hanging out. So what has been up with you guys? Haven't seen you in a few weeks.
Been busy.
A month and a half. Feels like
Gaming.
6 months.
Yeah.
Gaming, watching stuff, enabling myself, unenabling myself.
That end of the year rush with all the good games coming out back to back to back to back. And then
Can't play them fast enough.
And then me having to like buy Christmas gifts, so I'm missing out on a bunch, or Walmart not getting it, which is the case with Final Fantasy, Crisis Core. That sucks, but it's almost to be expected. But you know, sometimes they surprise me. So after Christmas, I'm gonna have to snag that. I thought I'd be playing it already. So I'll just play the PSP one until it shows up, I guess.
Yeah. Play the
Like,
primer.
Comparison. Yeah, so lots of good shit coming out lately. Lots of good shit to do. Well, why don't we tell something about your church? For those who don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully, well, I guess I'd prefer if people knew who I am because we hang out all the time. But yeah, I'm Church of a kind of like semi-defunct YouTube channel called The Game Grinder. Hey, I did a video a couple months ago.
See?
It's mostly unboxing videos now because they're not very hard to make. I put a little effort into them. So
that's why I did the shorts, because they're just super simple.
Yeah.
Hey, we all suck at YouTube consistency.
Yeah.
That's why this show exists, man.
Yeah. Game Tenants podcast used to do. Who knows what's going on with that? It's a thing.
I don't know, man.
And then there's and I'm also occasional host for the Cartridge Club, which is a Game of the Month club with an awesome community that always does a game of the month and then pulls people from the community who are playing along to join them on a podcast. And it's a lot of fun. And I recommend everybody check them out. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we were all on the one for, what was it, October?
Yeah, October we did Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1.
Yeah, it was us.
I might be on the one from this month that's all about Mortal Kombat.
What?
Why would they get you for that? Makes no sense.
I
Street
guess
Fighter
that
guy.
Rocket Sauce told the guy who's hosting the Mortal Kombat one, he's like, you need to just talk to Chris.
Yeah.
Just talk to Chris.
You'd be like Ron off of Parks and Rec when he goes to tell you something about Mortal Kombat, and you'll just hold up a thing that's like, I know more than you. when he goes to Home
It's like,
Depot.
I sacrificed my education to play Mortal Kombat 2.
Perfect. As should everybody. But we're here enabling the bad things, discouraging the good things.
Might have some regret about that. But anyway,
who needs schools when you can beat up fools?
yeah, who needs history class when you got Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade?
You don't need history class when you're schooling people.
I'm
and
making
whooping
history
ass.
playing the shit out of that.
Awesome. So, been a big year. A lot of good shit. A lot of good games coming out. We're just gonna go right into talking about our games of the year, or what?
Let's do it.
All right, we're off the top of the show. Started off heavy. So
Yeah, not
I haven't
Dragon.
played a whole lot. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that's actually interested me has come out in the last little while. So I haven't gotten it yet. So one of the ones I was looking forward to the most, I might be getting for Christmas. I'm not entirely sure. It's my mom still asks me like, what do you want for Christmas? And I'm like, I don't know. And I couldn't think of anything, so I told her Callisto Protocol. So
Yeah, no,
I
dude,
was like-
it's
I was
a
like,
cool
maybe
game.
I'll get it earlier than expected.
Game got it's the game everybody hates because they need something to hate for some reason.
It's the pile-on hate that is
Dude.
undeserved game of 2022.
I so
we always
want
champion
to-
these games. I feel
I so-
butterflies
yeah.
behind.
Absolutely, and I totally want you to play this game so you can like. I'm assuming you're gonna play it and you're gonna be like, no, dude, that game's a cool game. It's just got like I don't know. People wanted Dead Space and they played Callisto Protocol and they're like, this isn't Dead Space. It's like
Well, yeah, because it's not called Dead Space.
called Callisto
the-
Protocol.
Read the
It's
And-
called
box.
Callisto Protocol.
Although I did hear like the PC version wasn't running great, which I think that's been patched. They patched that pretty quick. And then there's a thing that I think they patched it really quick because it wasn't a thing when I played it. Is that sometimes there'd be like a short like cutscene, and then you do go into like a boss fight or something, and if you died, you like they'd make you watch the whole cutscene again.
Ooh,
but
classic
I didn't
style.
experience that. And then now they just added another update that if you don't even want to watch like the individual death animations, you can just like skip to restart. Which I think there's a good amount. There's actually quite a few like unique death animations, so it didn't really seem to get terribly repetitive for me. But
Yeah.
I would recommend if you see a trailer and you're like, hey, that looks interesting, you should check it out. Don't listen to.
Yeah.
My
I want to
theory
play
would
it.
be
I'm just going to wait for the complete edition to come out.
Yeah. My theory would be if you're tired of the death animations, quit dying.
Skip it.
Dying.
Yeah,
quit
You're
dying.
good. Just don't
Good,
die.
yeah. Can you
Stop it.
skip the death animations?
Get some help.
You can
Stop it.
now
Okay.
with an update. They just added an update like today or yesterday or something.
Good to hear. Yeah. While we're on the topic, I told you I didn't lose interest in it, but the price point of games now is making me be pickier.
Yeah.
So at the $90 Canadian price point and hearing it's 10 hours, I'm like, yeah, I agreed with you that most horror games are about 10 hours. But I was like, for $90, it's going to have to take a price cut or someone else buy it for me. So that's,
I mean, this
what
day and
I'm
age,
at.
a lot of games like first month they'll drop like $20.
Yeah, so
Unless it's
someone-
like a super like high demand game, then they'll kind of like keep it a little bit higher.
Which is one of the
Or
ones
it's a
I was waiting
Nintendo.
for Black Friday didn't drop.
Yeah, so I'd expect with some of the grumbling about Callisto, it's gonna get a quick discount.
yeah, so
Worth it. No
Yeah, so if I don't get it
regrets.
for Christmas, I'm fine with that. I'll end up buying it eventually. I'm still very interested. I don't care what
I
anyone
want
says
to play it. I
about
think it
stuff.
looks rad, which is
If one of you guys-
want the whole game first.
If one of you guys told me, like, dude, fucking give it a pass, it's actually awful, I'd wait till it was really cheap before buying it, but I'd still probably want to play it. Because once I'm interested in the game, nothing really sways me completely. But I'll take a warning from people I trust and people I usually agree with. So I guess that's a spoiler, but that's not going to be on my top 5. But, before we
let's start with
spoil
our
any
guest.
more, why don't we get a Church? What's your number 5?
My number 5. I had a tough one. My top like 3 was pretty easy. The other 2 I kind of struggled with because there's a lot of contenders, but I can't show anything. Imagine in your mind's eye here the physical copy coming out in a couple months of Signalis,
Okay.
which is
Doctor Strange,
a
that shit.
retro-styled survival horror game, very much in kind of it's a more high fidelity than PS1, but that era of survival horror. It's actually like it has a really interesting art style. It's like really it's like high def, but it's still like fine pixel, and there's like great mood and great atmosphere, and I think they did some really cool things with the story.
It looked really interesting when I checked into it.
Yeah, presentation's wild. Like I'm kind of like it's more partially in kind of the realm of like the psychological, not necessarily psychological horror, but like the story is kind of like mind fucky, and that's always like that's a easy sell for me, that sort of thing. But it's a really cool game.
Mouth of Madness, the video game.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It could be pretty weird and abstract at the end, but I had an absolute blast playing that. When there's higher produced games that would definitely deserve all the praise, but when a game like I can't put it down, like it says something.
That's good to hear. Well, I'll look forward to it. Maybe I'll try to snag a physical copy when it comes out. He's open
Soon. I think it comes out in February.
All right, just in time for my birthday.
Ooh.
In November.
It's close enough. 3 months. Oh,
Is this on account of me, guys? Just trying to be self-important. It's gonna be my Valentine this year. Sorry, Jared. All right, Chris, what you got? Number 5.
My number 5 is the game I'm currently playing. That's God of War Ragnarok. I like it, but I do feel it drags a little bit. It's not grabbing me as much as the first game did, but I do like it. I think it's pretty cool that you get the different sidekick every now and instead of just having Atreus by your side the whole time. Now you got Freya. She's kind of cool. I like the way that their storyline kind of resolved.
I think the second half of the game like really like picks up. If you don't get
that could be what is
if you're
with me
also
right
if
now.
you kind of feel like it's a little
yet.
dragon, I would say just chill out on the side stuff. Just like stick to like the main story, and
that's what I've been basically doing. If I come across something on my path there, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll check that out. But mostly I've just been sticking to the story stuff. I haven't been doing a lot of the backtracking that it obviously has because there's a lot of stuff I can't open or access yet because they don't have a special power yet, like those vents that you see blowing stuff out. I haven't been able to access that yet. But I mean, like, the combat's cool. I like the way I'm leveling the characters up. You can level everybody up. You can level Freya up. You can level Atreus up. I like the fact that you play as Atreus on his own in it. The fighting is fantastic. Like, I've just created some crazy-ass combo shit that I've randomly strung together and just constantly juggling someone in the air kind of thing. It's really fun, but like the story is just for some reason just dragging for me right now, and I'm just like, can we just move on? But like I said, I haven't beat it yet. I'm probably halfway through, maybe from what I was telling you guys earlier.
Sweet, yeah, sounds good.
But,
you were telling us, it sounds about the halfway point. Maybe
I was about 20 hours in, I think, last time I checked.
Yeah, maybe about 60% of the way. Maybe even it's all relative to what you're, how you're playing it. Like if you're doing side stuff, if you're doing, like some exploring,
I have no intention of platining it or anything like that. So
all that how long to beat stuff is
it might have been higher up on my list if I actually beaten it already, but I haven't. Yeah,
well, no complaints for me here. I platinumed it since our last episode, and I gotta say, I'm gonna champion this the way Church usually does with games. Once you see credits, keep playing. There's some of the after.
Well, the first game had that too, so I would expect this too.
Yeah, some of the after you beat it stuff is actually pretty worthwhile. It's not all just finishing off collectibles and crap. There's actually some cool stuff and like some stuff they put in there that you're like, wow, they were just hoping that I'd play and stumble upon this, because there's like some stuff that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
It's like such a pet peeve of mine that they do that, because there will be people that say game over, they shut it off and that's it, GG uninstall, and Ugh.
It's not. I don't know. It's not going to like break the story or anything. There's just some cool stuff that if you really liked it, I'd say like keep going with it. The only thing I really got sick of was trying to find the relics and sword hilts. When like I'm pretty, when I know the end of the game's coming, I'm like I'll wrap up most of it, and I'm like, where are the rest of these? And then I figured out that like, oh yeah, some of the stuff you can't even access till after you beat the game. That's my closest thing to a gripe with the game at all. Was that like, oh, even when I had all the powers and stuff, I couldn't get to certain places until after I beat the game. But there is a certain section that you can only do after the game that I'd say definitely take care of that. The berserkers and stuff are just for if you need extra challenge, stuff like that. I think the berserkers were actually a bit tougher than the Valkyries were
Really?
the last game, but it just like
the Valkyrie thing is what made me turn the game off.
Just like
I loved Valkyrie fights, but
just like the Valkyries, like there's some berserker fights. You're like, oh, I was just.
I think the
preparing
Valkyrie
for,
fights were a lot cooler.
I found a lot of them just kind of reuse the same moves though.
Yeah.
Whereas these guys, they're like all.
But yeah, the Valkyries
types.
always had like a couple of unique moves, and then they shared moves, and it was always just kind of building you up to Sigrun.
Yeah, Sigrun had like an amalgamation of everybody's moves, and the cheap as fuck. I did find, I wouldn't say cheap, but it just seemed like it was almost like automatic. The last Berserker and then the last, I want to say boss character that you fight. I don't really want to spoil anything for anyone who's not played it. But the post-game boss thing that you fight is, those are definitely the two hardest things in the game. But I found like you'd be doing good, and when you got them down to the sliver, all of a sudden they became unpredictable. Like it was just like a by the numbers fight, and all of a sudden they're like, just kidding, or like it reminded me when you play guns with like a friend or something, and they're like, you didn't get me. We're like, no, that's like
the rules suddenly change.
Yeah, that's stun locked you every other time I've done this in this fight, but all of a sudden this time you're like, nah, Matrix out of the way of that. You're like, huh, that's weird. And then you killed me in like one hit because I was in the middle of that move, and then you were like, sidestep, stab, you're done. So a little bit of annoying there, but I'm up for a challenge, especially in these games. So it was a mighty feeling to platinum this one again. So it might be on my list. I will see.
I doubt it.
Number 5 for me is actually it can be a 2-for-1. It'll also be one of my pickups. I actually got this on Black Friday, but it hadn't showed up before last episode. But number 5 is Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ooh.
I actually just finished this morning. I hadn't really heard much about it. Like I saw the announcement. It looked awesome. I was like, yeah, that'll be one of the games to look for when I get a PS5. Then when the Black Friday sales were on, I noticed it was still full price, and I checked Amazon, and I was just, still full price on Amazon. So I was bitching to you guys, like, God damn it! I was hoping that Ghostwire would have been.
And I got it on discount over the summer.
And I bitched about it. And lo and behold, like 5 minutes later, I checked again, and what's like 60% off? There you go. Proof
it's
that
weird.
if you want something bad enough, complain.
Like there seemed like there was a lot of build up to that game because that was the new studio that was Tango Gameworks, which had the Akumi Nakamura, who like showed up at the is it the Game Awards or E3? She was the Japanese woman developer that everybody fell in love with because she's like
but since then I hadn't seen.
And I think she quit the studio. I think she quit the studio after the game got finished because of the development for it.
Yeah, like me and you, I know we're a lot alike when it comes to this. Once you're sold on a game, you don't really check out anything. Media blackout.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that and just wanted to pick it up when I got a PS5 after Ragnarok. So
sweet game though.
I liked it a lot. It's the same studio that worked on Evil Within 1 and 2, And maybe that's when I mentioned
That
getting, you're like,
scares
oh, I
me.
lost
That's
interest
what's
in it for some
truly
reason.
spooky.
And I'm like, is that why you didn't end up picking up? Because Evil Within 1 just that's such a bad taste.
Fun fact for anybody who's not familiar with me. The Evil Within is what really kickstarted me doing YouTube, because I couldn't believe everybody loved that game. It's the only negative review I ever did in like my 6 years of doing YouTube.
Well, maybe you need to come roaring back and do an Evil Within 2 way after the fact review. But yeah, like a lot of the stuff is like really one note, but I really liked the atmosphere of it. I wouldn't say it's a horror game. Some people might think it looks like one. It's more like a supernatural thriller game. It takes place obviously in Tokyo, but it's just the atmosphere of it I really like. There's some really trippy stuff that kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, PT type stuff. And I was like, cool, without like crazy horror, but like, there's like some really trippy sequences. And like, you know, I hear a lot of, now that I've been playing it, I've actually checked out a few things, and a lot of people seem to complain about the combat being a little one note. The combat is definitely not challenging, especially if you level up your attacks. But the story was pretty cool, kind of weird. It's Japanese after all, but I don't know. I dug it a bit, and like you get these cool like supernatural like ghost powers. And I was a little worried, to be honest, because you collect these like trapped souls. They're basically just floating around everywhere, and you catch them and you kind of like upload them. It feels like a weird Japanese version of Ghostbusters meets. But a lot of the combat reminded me of like Doctor Strange. You're doing like a lot of hand signs and
Could you just flick
like
us off?
You're like tethering these. No, I'm throwing up gang
This
signs.
motherfucker right here.
Tokyo gang, what's up? But yeah, you do like a lot of Doctor Strange or what's his name, Constantine type magical looking stuff.
It's like flipping gang signs and shit.
Yeah, where he's just doing the all that kind of shit. But some of the enemies honestly look straight up like Slender Man. I know Slender Man's kind of a ripoff of like the Japanese like what do you call them? I can't remember what they're called. Yokais and shit. But
Yokai Watch.
But I really liked I really liked a lot of the like the lore, like the Japanese kind of spin on everything there. And I don't know, I really got into it. So I was worried that those lost souls I mentioned that you trap I noticed there was a trophy for collecting all of them before beating the end of the game. I was like,
oh shit, it's an unofficial Ghostbusters game?
No, I was like, please don't tell me it's going to be like Arkham Knight where I have to get all of them before finishing the game to get a true ending. And it looks like no, because I looked it up. I'm really not going to be into that. That'll actually sour me on the game big time. But no, it's how you level up. So there's incentive to do it besides like, oh, they're like a collectible. No, as soon as you upload them, you get massive XP. So there was incentive to do it throughout the game, but I wasn't like, I'm not going to go the whole map because the map is sprawling. It's a pretty large map. And I was like, nah, that would take the fun out of it for me. But I did just enough of it. I think I saved about 60% of overall. I think there's 240,000 that you are expected to get if you want to get all of them. And I was like, nah, I'm not up for a collect fest at the end of the game. So besides from that, yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of little variety to the side missions and stuff, and the styling of it in general, I really liked. So I think check it out if you can get it on a deal.
Yeah.
Right, Church. What's number 4?
Number 4. Which you can play 4-player with your friends.
Yeah.
That is
Ooh.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I bought it digitally, so that's why it's still sealed. I actually played this.
Sweet.
Absolutely
Fantastic
fantastic treat of a game.
My copy shows up on Friday.
As soon as I got it, I managed to get 3 of my friends over, and we played through the whole game twice. We did it with the base, and then after you unlock Casey, we played through it again.
Sweet. Yeah, I did that 6-player with my family. It's a perfect amount of players. So we haven't had a family game before where all of us are playing. I played stuff with the kids and one or two of them at a time. But yeah, this is the first time my entire family played together as a team.
Yeah, I hope all these games, everybody listening or watching is familiar with them. If you don't know about Shredder's Revenge, it's like basically Turtles in Time, arcade beat 'em up, all hand drawn, very animated, tons of like added abilities and combos and stuff.
Yeah,
Just what a pleasure.
totally was. I wholeheartedly agree. Chris, what you got?
Mine is Halo Infinite.
Nice.
I was late to the party on that because I was under the assumption that I had to have a Series X in order to play it, but it could play on the Xbox One, and I picked it up at Midwest Gaming Classic for like $20. So yeah, I did not realize that Halo had gone open world. So I booted it up, and it is actually pretty cool. There's some stuff that is linear, like a standard Halo game. The rest of it is all open world. Go and do what you want. Take care of enemy installations. Do some exploring, whatever. But like the gameplay is just as fun as it usually is. I'm a big first-person shooter fan, so it was right up my alley. But the story was really interesting. I don't remember if the villain in this was brought up in the 5th game or not. I could not remember because it's been a while since I played it. But the splintered Covenant characters are kind of cool. But like the whole open world thing just kind of took me by surprise. I did not expect that at all. So it kind of bumped it up a couple notches for me. But I really had a good time playing it. And it didn't take forever. Like usually an open world game takes like 50 hours or something like that, or 40 hours. And this, I think I beat it in maybe 25. And all that, so it wasn't super long. But I know there is a lot of like post-game stuff too, like downloadable. And I don't do the online multiplayer at all, so that's kind of lost on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really well made. Looked great. I remember the original video that they showed off at whatever E3 or Game Awards or whatever it was. Everyone was complaining about how shitty it looked. It doesn't look like that at all.
Everyone
Even on
dogged on
Xbox One.
Everyone was dogging that it looked like something off the original Xbox.
Yeah,
with
that was just some original rendering. It wasn't like final. It looks fantastic. It plays great. It's smooth. I never had any problems even playing it on an Xbox One. I can just imagine what it's going to look like on a Series X, though. That's kind of... I want to check that out if I ever do get one of those. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's way better than the last game in that series that I played.
I actually played 4 and 5 and like lead up to it coming out. I actually played 5 a little bit after it came out, but I was holding out for the co-op that they had promised, and I was holding out, and I was like, yeah, because I was thinking of like playing through it with my son to be our first like co-op game, like big game together, and then they just straight up canceled it, so I kind of just popped my hype for that at all. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I downloaded it the day it came out on Game Pass to play, and I was like, yeah, I'll hold up for because my son was like right into 5 when I was playing it. He was like, we'd switch off because there's no co-op in that one either. And then then them canceling the co-op, and it kind of just went, oh, because I was like, yeah, there's a new one coming out, and I had him hyped up on it, and then I was like, oh, so we'd have to take turns again, not play together. So I was like, I'd rather play through one of the old ones with him. One of these days, haven't deleted it off my hard drive yet, so I'll probably check it out at some point. And if I like it enough, maybe I'll end up buying it.
A lot of new weapons, a lot of new vehicles to pick. You get to pick the vehicle. You get like these home bases that you can establish in certain parts of the map, and you can walk up there and you just go to this terminal and pick a vehicle, and they'll drop you one right there, so you can just use it whenever you want. You can pick whatever, as long as you've acquired a weapon from a bad guy that you've killed, like you've picked it up, it becomes part of your permanent like repertoire of guns that you can use. So you just go to this other terminal and pick a weapon. You can pick anything you want that you've already seen or picked up. It's really cool the way it works. I like it a lot. I think the reason I like it so much is it surprised the hell out of me just how different they made it compared to the others.
That's good because I think they were like really banking on this one after like kind of middling reviews on the last one.
Yeah.
But I want to play. I've heard good things about it, but yeah, like I said, my main hype to play it was the co-op. So I'll get over that
I heard
eventually.
the actual
and actually check it
multiplayer
out.
part of it was kind of broken for a while too.
Yeah. So they fucking up, man. That's like their flagship title.
Yeah.
You figure they wouldn't over.
You figure they'd have that working better than the actual single player mode.
Yeah, I don't get it.
No, but I'm glad I don't play the multiplayer stuff, so it didn't bother me at all. I was just interested in the campaign, and I was happy with that.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, number 4 for me is I'm gonna have to hold up nothing also, but it's Marvel Snap. It's a mobile game. I've been playing the absolute shit out of this game, and I haven't even been talking about it when we talk about games we've been playing.
Well, you messaged me about it a little while ago.
I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, I messaged both of you guys going, man, I don't know.
You're like,
I'm
level 900. I was like, I'm 32.
Yeah, I've been doing the daily challenges every day. I haven't let any of them stack up. I just keep doing it. So I'm like level like 1300 or something now. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's a card battling game. It's really easy to get into. It's not like learning how to play Magic or I don't know. I've never tried to play any of those other card battlers, but it's just super, super easy to get into. It's like Gwent. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's super simplistic and like yeah, I've even played it with my kid a bit, and it's fun. I like all the different cards you can get. It doesn't throw ads at me constantly while I'm playing. There's no ads actually at all. It just kind of goes, hey, if you want. Every month there's like a premium thing where you can get certain specific things just through playing.
Captain America right now?
Yeah. No, it's Silver Surfer, Power Cosmic, I think. So it's Silver Surfer and a couple other like variant cards you can get. Like last month it was Black Panther because of Wakanda Forever. So yeah, you can choose to buy it or not. It doesn't really affect how you play. That's how you get that specific card for the month, and you'll get variants of that card too if you get to a certain level. It's honestly so addictive, and anytime I have to sit somewhere and be bored for a minute, I'm not bored because I can play the shit out of this game. I play it
when I shit
constantly. Yeah, I play it constantly. I use it to chill out. If I get home from work after nights, I'll just sit and play a couple rounds until I'm tired, and then I'll go to bed. But yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I really like the non-intrusive feeling. Like when I was playing, I beat Plants vs. Zombies 2, and that throws constant ads at you that you got to watch if you want to get anything, or if you even want to keep playing. Sometimes it'll sneak one in there, and I was like, oh, this feels really invasive, and I got really tired of it, so I've stopped playing it pretty much altogether since I've gotten this. And yeah, obviously I love my Marvel, so that didn't hurt the aesthetic of it, but yeah, just in general, really fun game. So
one thing I have to complain about when it comes to that game, you can't play with friends.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You can't link up friend code or nothing like that. But even at the Game Awards, this game won Mobile Game of the Year, so that's pretty cool. So, and I'll have to agree with that. I'm not into mobile gaming at all. I like to have like something to play on my phone at all times, and it's going to be this for the foreseeable future. Love it. Right. What's number 3 on Church's list?
All right. I'm doing a quick reorganization. I don't know if how upset I want to make everybody with this list, but I think I'm gonna follow my heart with this one. I'm gonna stick with it. So my number 3 is going to be God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh.
Which isn't to diminish this amazing game by any means. It is.
If you're just saying that because I know where you live, you can speak with your heart, man.
We're only there last month, bro. We coming for you.
Yeah, not much else I could say to really add to anything. For me, I really enjoyed The story, the acting is like superb. Played great, looks great, sounds great. I didn't do as much of the side stuff. I did a good amount, but it got to a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm good with that stuff. Stick to the story, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Yeah, I kind of hope they do. I really like the style of game. The like, I don't know, parent or like the duel. I don't know what do you call that? Like God of War or Last of Us.
Good Dadson.
It's like co-op,
Tail.
not
Good Dadson.
co-op. It's co-op, but not co-op.
Yeah.
Good Dadson.
Yeah, I mean, awesome game. It could easily be a number one, but just my list is.
I feel like I'm in the room pointing a gun at you, man. See what you see. What
I love it. I hope everybody plays it. And if you don't love it,
fuck you.
Love you.
So good feels. All right, Chris, what you got for number 3?
My number 3 is Valfaris. God fucking damn it, that game. It is tough.
Yeah, I got it. Ever since you've been talking about it, it's like I need to play this to see. Like,
it is amazing. It is amazing.
As hard as you say it is.
Holy fuck! I streamed the final boss battle. It took me 2 hours. 2 fucking hours.
Oof. And the successful run takes you how long to fight the end boss?
10, maybe.
10 minutes.
10 hours.
Oh no, I mean like that boss
to do it, like it would probably take 8 minutes.
Okay.
I think the final time I did it, where I actually completed it, because it's like 4 different phases.
Yeah.
Of the boss battle.
Well, the first couple
it
times
took probably like 8 minutes once I actually did it successfully. But it's a retro styled. I guess it's more look like a Super Nintendo game. I guess. Side-scrolling run and gun and beat 'em up, because you can alternate between guns and swords. There's lots of stuff you can find and unlock when it comes to the weapons. Each one does something different. I found a specific loadout that I preferred the whole game. But there's some puzzle platforming and all that, but it is just, and it's metal as fuck. The music in the game is absolutely fantastic.
Hell yeah, it is.
I remember Nintendo logged on to while I was streaming the boss battle, and he was just like, I don't give a fuck about the game, but holy shit, this soundtrack.
Yeah, that dude, the dude who made the game, he's a cool dude. I heard an interview with him talking about music, and yeah. And did you ever play Slain back
yes,
from
I did.
Hell?
Yeah, with the
What'd
music
you
by
think
the
of
ice
that
cream
one?
guy. I liked it. I never beat it, but I really liked what I played of it. I was streaming that one for a while too, back when it first came out. But
actually, hold on.
Every stage of Valfaris could look like a death metal cover, album cover.
Yeah,
it is just crazy, but it's just gonzo action left and right. It is absolutely nuts. It's bloody. It's gory. There's multiple death animations for your character depending on how you die.
That's right. I was like, who? It was somebody particular who did Valfaris' soundtrack, and it's Kurt Victor Bryant, who was of Celtic Frost guitars.
No, that's kind of funny because Splain had the guy from Iced Earth in it. Doing music.
Well, fuck that guy. Well, unless was it the guitar? No, it wasn't the singer because
I think it was the guitarist.
Yeah, the guitarist. So that'd make more sense. I haven't played either yet. I have them both.
Slain is rad. It's hard too.
I know that guy. Slain, that has actual headbanging in it.
Yeah.
When you idle a bit, I think he headbangs.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I like this more than Slain. I'm about.
Well, that's why I continued with
halfway
it
through
because I liked it.
He's working on another game too, kind of similar.
Valfaris ends with kind of like a cliffhanger, like I want to see a sequel. It'll probably make my brain melt.
That might be what he's working on.
Yeah, I want a sequel because it ends with like that's what's going on. Okay, but it's fantastic. The control's great. I love everything about it. It is super difficult, but it's one of those difficult games that like becomes addictive, and you just want to keep on trying, and because you can do better.
Good.
And it's usually you've done something wrong when you die or you get hit or whatever.
Yeah, it's basically you're not calling the game cheap. You're like, yeah, that was me. That's on me. I fucked up.
And if you watch that 2-hour stream, it's still on my Twitch channel. If you watch that 2-hour stream, you can see when I was fucking up because I was getting too antsy, or I was just kind of like, "Ooh, I found an opening. No, I should have waited," kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic game. I usually, when these types of games usually frustrate the hell out of me, and I give up on them. But this one made me want to keep playing because I was like, I need to beat this fucking game. I need to do it. And surprisingly, the person who suggested I play it was Tiger Chainsaw on this very show.
Yeah, I think it was his. It was his big recommend.
Yeah, and I'm glad he did. Thank you, Tiger Chainsaw. You the man, bro.
When he recommended it, I had it in my small case that I bring to work, and I had with my PS4, and I was like, yeah, I've like had it in there for a while, and then games keep jumping in front of it, but I finally gave it some time.
Yeah, you should have been happy, or everyone that was watching the stream should have been happy that I didn't have my microphone hooked up, because I probably would have deafened everybody when I finally beat the last boss and I fucking screamed. It's like, fuck yes, fuck! I was like, full voice. I'm pretty sure all the people that live in this building were like, is he being murdered?
Is he watching Predator? It sounds like when Dutch finally challenges the Predator. Oh!
I fucking did it! Come on!
That's great.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Hell yeah!
It's a challenge, but it's worth it.
So, number 3 for me, Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh yeah, we all played that.
We talked the shit up out of this game, so I don't think there's much I can add in the way of. We talked. It's excellent sequel, an improvement. I think pretty much every way.
It didn't change a whole lot, but it didn't need to either.
It made it better. It made it just a little bit better.
It's kind of like Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, where you're like, didn't really add much, but didn't really.
I do.
It got tweaks.
I preferred the first game's story, just because, especially that last like quarter of the game when like you find out everything.
Going on. Yeah,
that hits. But this is fantastic.
One thing I gotta what we complained about kind of when it came out was like that it doesn't even have all the weapons. Like a lot of the weapons are held over, but the coolest weapon from the last one is nowhere to be found. It just doesn't exist in this game, and that kind of pissed me off.
And that basically the game starts off with you getting mugged.
Which I think is great. Like that was great.
As much as I'm a badass, and you beat that boss at the end of the last game, and then some random guy like whacks you on the head and takes all your gear, and it's like what?
Gotta be like not paying attention for one random.
Yeah, she got a little cocky and she paid the price.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Call of the Mountain, the VR game that's going to come with the PSVR 2. I ordered the bundle.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I'm still not sold on that. I'm gonna snag one cheap locally, hopefully. Like I did.
Get me one too, bro. Like last time.
Hopefully I find a 3-pack.
Send it to me in that diaper box again.
Yeah, honestly, if I wasn't playing. And it's gonna sound funny. I've been playing a ton of Beat Saber again because I do use it to basically like work as part of my workout. If I wasn't playing that so much, and the benefits of the comfortability and the tracking are going to be improved that much, like that's like, well, it's like, all right, let's go. And then it's like, still fingers crossed that they're gonna like hopefully at launch do Half-Life Alyx. If it's not delayed, even though I got it on PC and I played it on Oculus.
Yeah, but you get trophies for it now.
It's like, fuck it. You know what?
Yeah.
$600. I don't respect my finances.
Who does?
At all.
I'm definitely interested in it, but I gotta say, like, as much as I love the VR, it's like
the hardware is incredible. It's like
top 4K. It's 4K inside.
It's
that
basically
thing,
like the top of the line VR system. It's better. It'll be better than the Index, and like it's still corded, which a lot of people are like, no cord, corded. I won't buy it, but I think that's silly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't play the Quest. You can't play Half-Life Alyx on the Quest without a cord.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense that it would be. How could it send that much information?
Yeah.
to that thing.
If it's if it's going to affect performance, give me a cord over not.
Yeah, I'd rather take a cord than it not working.
Yeah,
as long as the controllers aren't corded, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I get a little belt.
I feel like Whiplash from Iron Man 2.
Oh,
Where's
God.
my Void?
Like I fucking got myself tennis elbow from the amount of times I would do like that movement so I could fly.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued, but yeah, I've been honestly skimping on the VR lately because
I have to.
I think because my game room is in such mayhem that I'm like, I don't even have a spot where it's just like nicely set up like I used to when I could just throw it on all the time. It's always just kind of, I'm bringing my PS4 to work a lot, kind of interrupted that. But I think now that I got the PS5 and I'll probably be bringing that more often to work, it's probably about time I can get that set up again. So, I'm behind on a few games. So I like being behind a bit because then it means I got stuff I can play back to back. Sweet.
Word.
So, what's next?
Oh, number 2 for me. And of course, like I said, my list is not you guys. List. Everybody's gonna hate my number 1 pick.
It's your opinion.
My opinion. But this game, if it wasn't for this other game, this for me, it's like hands down, without a doubt.
Is it Deedlit?
No. That came out. That was last year, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was last year.
Like I'm picking games from this year.
I think so.
Elden Ring.
I still need to play
is number 2. Oh.
I mean, there's not a whole lot I could say about Elden Ring. Everybody already kind of knows the whole From Software formula, and this is like the best of the best for everything that they do. It's the most accessible game. Still provides a good challenge, but a lot of times when I hear complaints about the difficulty, it'd be like, did you summon anybody? And they're like, nah. It's like a built-in mechanic of the game. You can summon like 2 people sometimes to do fights with you and stuff. But anyways, fantastic game. I mean, good Lord. I put in like 180 hours and like didn't even faze me. It's like, holy crap. Like, and I just wanted more. And compared to a lot of games, like once you start getting past a certain amount of hours, like I'm ready to be done. And this one, it's like, I just wanted more. I wanted to keep going. It's just that damn good. Oh my God. I loved it.
Yeah, I've definitely played a bunch of games where I'm like right into it, but then it just like seems to keep going. I'm like, I thought this was wrapping up. And then I just got kind of grumpy at it.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I did it, and I went all out. I platinumed it, and it's always like it's not as hard to platinum Elden Ring. There's like, you don't have to beat like all the bosses and stuff to platinum it. It's just like all the mains and like a couple like of the major like side bosses and stuff, but just great. Story is pretty cool. It's not as vague and obscure as all the other games. And there's always plenty of great lore videos like Vadi Video that will kind of cover you. But yeah, Elden Ring's my number 2.
Sweet. Chris, what you got?
My number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I played that earlier in the year. Once I got that, I think it was the first big game I played after I got my PS5 earlier in the year. Because I played Mortal Kombat Aftermath, so I could see the final chunk of that story that I didn't get originally, and then booted up Guardians of the Galaxy. I wasn't digging it at first, but it grew on me because the characters are so well written and acted. Oh shit!
He gone. He back.
It turned into a ghost for a second. But like, yeah, the way the game plays and the way the story unfolds and all that, it's just really, really well done. It's probably one of the best Marvel games I've played in a long time.
Yeah,
it's probably the best Marvel game I've played since Wolverine, the X-Men Origins Wolverine game.
The banter, just
the dialogue, the acting, like everybody's perfect, even though it's not the actors from the films. It's completely different voice actors. But it's so well done, and all the collectibles and the way the story goes and all that kind of stuff. I just could not. It was one of those games that I was like, I can't wait to get home from work so I could play like another couple hours of this and see what's going to go on and see what's happening.
Absolutely.
And then the final after credit thing with Adam Warlock, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. Like I couldn't put that was one of those games like where you with Elden Ring where I just could not put it down when I was playing it. I was like, oh, I got to go to bed. Shit.
Yeah.
You know,
that was exactly
I can
me
wait
too.
another hour. I'll lose an hour of sleep over this. This is fine. You know, kind of thing. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so well made in every respect.
Shockingly good.
Yeah, especially after all the shit you heard from the other Square Enix Marvel game,
Yeah.
the Avengers, which I still have not played. I have it for the PS5, but I still haven't played it. I'm sure it's been improved since it came out, but
lots of patches.
but like the amount of shit that I've heard about that game, this game was like perfect from the get go, from what it sounds like. So, like, I'm so glad that I chose that one off my shelf to play as like my first big PS5 game.
Hell yeah! But did you forget the Spider-Man games?
Huh?
Those games
Oh, shit,
were
I
awesome
forgot
Marvel
about
games too.
Yeah,
Come
they're
on,
good.
man.
Yeah.
The best not
okay.
Spider-Man Marvel.
The best not
games.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spidey's always the top tier. But
Yeah. Last was it? I did play Miles Morales this year too.
Yeah.
And Miles Morales was fantastic, but it was no Guardians of the Galaxy.
Definitely. Usually I'm super annoyed when the characters don't shut up in games. I'm like, all right. Especially there's always like that irritating character, and you're like, just shut up. We like run to a mission so they can like be cut off.
They're fade into the background.
Yeah.
Well, like I've never read the comics and stuff, but like that's their thing. And if they mess that up, it's like don't make the game.
Yeah,
exactly. And I gotta say one thing that pissed me off about that game is not even on them. It's on Hasbro for not making figures because like
the models of the characters.
The designs are that I like them way more than the comics, and I like them better than
and you can unlock the movie versions too if you want. You can unlock the costumes. So I mean, look, you can make them look any way you want.
I totally would have bought figures if they had them, and maybe they will eventually. It's not like they still don't do like older figures like current releases.
But they did like the Avengers ones like right when it came out. So I was like, oh, maybe we'll get the guard. No, they never even. So yeah, maybe they'll retroactively like go back and be like, it's this version. So hopefully there's more than just me asking for that shit, because it would be really cool to see. Because sometimes I like to buy a couple action figures, and I have none of the Guardians. Oh man! So
yeah, if there's one thing I'll say that like really got me about the game that made me want to keep going was like I say this every once in a while, but like it takes a lot for me to get like emotionally involved in a game, and like the way the game was like dealing with like loss and trauma and stuff like that, it kind of choked me up a couple of times the way that some of the characters were dealing with it. Yeah, and I was just like that goes a long way with me. Like if I'm that into it that I actually really give a shit. It's like watching a slasher movie where it's like, can I actually give a shit about these characters so I care when they get killed, kind of thing. It's the same thing. It's like these like once the game is over, I'm done. The characters aren't gonna stick with me, but it's games like this where the characters like stick with you long after you finish playing it because they've been developed so well, and yeah, that's like the biggest strong suit I think the game has going for it.
Definitely. Yeah, it was powerful.
Yeah. It was like, again, it surprised me too that it went in that direction instead of just trying to be funny. But then again, if you look at the movies that they've made, the movies are kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the movies were like taking, it kind of like started the early Marvel rule where it's like the less I care about the character, it's almost like they make those the best movies. That's how like they got that movie made, is they're like, oh yeah, well, if you fuck it up, no one's gonna really care. And then it ended up being like one of the best Marvel movies. Just like Ant-Man, I could care less about Ant-Man.
Those movies are
like
really
the first Ant-Man movie, I was like, God damn, that was better than it had any right to be. So yeah, I'm hoping for more soon. So
yeah, I could definitely go with a sequel to this one.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about a game that's already been talked about, but it's worth talking about.
Oh boy!
Shredder's Revenge is my number 2. If it's any secret to anyone, it's because they're not paying attention. But I love me some Ninja Turtle games. I love me all Ninja Turtle games.
Because you played every one of them in 1 month.
Yeah, as a Cartridge Club Game of the Month, Turtle Power Month, he played
every one of them.
Every single, and then they didn't even ask me to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
nuts to that. I think it was because I was just on like 2 in a row or 2 within a couple of months span. I was like, get someone else in there. I'm tired of hearing this guy talk. But yeah, it was understandable. But yeah, I think this is the best Turtles game ever made. Between
hands down.
Between this and Rescue Palooza, the free PC game,
Oh yeah,
is awesome. If you have not played that, I highly recommend that as well. But this, the best couch co-op game I've played this year by far. Like I said, if I got my wife to play games with me, and she hasn't played games with me since we've had kids, so that's a treat in itself.
Yeah,
So we all had a blast. It was so accessible that like my 5-year-old up to my 37-year-old at the time could all play together and have the same amount of fun and have each other's back and not be lost while playing was just a treat. Because usually if you're playing with someone younger, you got to be like, this is how you. No, you're like, this is punch, this is jump, this is your super move. There you go, you're done. So absolutely loved it. I knew I would right from when they announced it. I was like, this is going to be something special.
You just look at it. It's kind of like up there with like things like Cuphead, like where you could just you can see the passion. Like there's so much, and they put like everything into it. Yeah,
this wasn't for a paycheck. This was like fans making a game. This was a fan-made game that had actual backing from the creators and studio and everything. So that's good to see. When they don't just get sent to cease and desist. So yeah, I'm all for more of that. Give me 20 more of the exact same style. I'd be absolutely fine with it. Just more levels. Excellent story. They got obscure characters in there. They got characters It was all types. I even like that there's like the little side missions that weren't like super distracting from the rest of the game, but like, yeah, everything about it, excellent.
Yeah, my copy shows up on Friday. I'm probably going to boot that up, even though I'm playing God of War. I'm going to boot that up and try to beat it in one day.
Dual screen. Yeah.
You could definitely play through it in a sitting. It's not super long. It's got a good length to it, though.
Sitting or maybe 2. I don't know.
That's what you said.
Yeah. So I loved it. Yeah, I played through it.
Just like a Puss in Boots.
I think altogether I played through it 3 times because I played through a bunch of it with just Uriah, and then I started it again with like the boys. So we played the first couple of definitely the first couple levels I played probably like 8 times each. But then as the family, we've started from the beginning and went all the way to the end in like 2 nights, I think, maybe 3. And yeah, for my wife to sit still and play a game for any amount of time is super rare these days. So that she would sit and I'd be like, don't worry about that. I'll do that. Like I'm going to do the dishes and I'll do this. And then don't worry about that. I'll cook supper while we play. Shit like that. So it was we got it.
Throw something in the microwave and keep on playing.
Yeah. We're all having a hungry man. We're having one hungry man because only one fits in there right now.
Yeah, one person gets the corn, one person gets the cake, one person gets the beans, and I get the Salisbury steak.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real treat in more than one way. It was a nostalgia trip. It was quality family time, and it was just a quality beat 'em up. And if you know anything about me, I love me some beat 'em ups. The coming off like the back of between Shredder's Revenge and the Cowabunga collection coming out within like a month or 2 of each other, it was definitely a Turtles year for sure. And then I played through all those goddamn games again.
Yeah,
and most of them are a delight to play through, but I still hate the NES one. I don't care. I don't have to like it.
But you got achievements.
Yeah, I beat it for the 2nd time ever, and it's probably the last time I need to play it. So there we go. What you got for your number 1, Church?
Number 1, the one that everybody was angry about for its pure existence. And I just love this game so much. I don't want to detract from Elden Ring or God of War or Shredder's Revenge. I love all those games. They're great. Everybody should play them. But this is one of the goats of goats. Last of Us Part 1. I will play through this game every time they make it look a little bit better or make it play a little bit better because it's one of the greatest games of all time, period. Top 5 for me, for sure. I have a hard time. I say that now, but That's why I said I never want to do top 5 lists, a top 5 list period, because I just can't. There's just too many. But I absolutely love The Last of Us Part 1. It's always funny when you play remasters, like you're like, damn, this game looks exactly like I remember it. Yeah, and then you do your side by sides, and you're like, holy crap, like they did a really good job.
Especially when the remaster was only like a year and a half after it came out.
Yeah. And this is basically they just like copied the code over to the graphics engine for part 2. But nothing else changed. The game's exactly the same. Plays the same. There's some combat improvements and like AI improvements and stuff. But like story, all the acting's exactly the same.
It has the DLC pack in there too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's very good as well. And I love this game.
Perfect. Can't say I'm surprised, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm surprised.
I'm gonna mix it up. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it doesn't even deserve just because it's a remake," and I generally would agree, but this is just one of those games, and there's people who haven't played it, and this is another opportunity for people to discover this game.
Yeah. I almost picked it up on Black Friday, but I did.
I
had a lot of stuff going.
A discount, a big discount for me to pick it up, and I'll pick it up.
I'll check it out again, probably.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding?
See this?
It's a Steelbook
slut.
I got the limited edition for it, and people are like, $70 for a remake. I'm like, I'll pay $120 for that shit. Because I don't care about my money. I do, but
not enough.
Not enough. Look, all around me. That's a respect for my.
Have you been to my house? Yeah, you have.
Yours, yours.
If you watch any episode of the show, you know what it's about.
Yeah,
fully back and enable that behavior.
I almost enable these guys more than they enable each other.
I just said, fuck going to school, play video games, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best person to listen to about anything. But yeah, Chris, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
Because the original game was my game of the year. The year that came out, I absolutely loved the world. I loved the characters. I loved everything about it. I didn't want it to end. There's a game that I wish had a lot of beating the game content kind of thing going on. Other than the DLC content. I'm just talking in general. But I could not wait for this game. Like, this is the game I was going to buy a PS5 so I could play it. And it was a weird set of circumstances that I bought the PS4 version, and then the next day I got a PS5, and then I had to upgrade my copy for the PS5 version and all that. But I ended up playing through the first the first hour of the game 3 times because of all the different versions I had to play. Because I started playing it on my PS4 the day that I got it. Then the next day I got the PS5, and I didn't realize I had to upgrade it. So I played it through the PS4 version for the first hour again. And then I realized I had to upgrade it, and then I upgraded it, and then I played the first hour as the PS5 version.
Absolutely. Oh, well, you did the way to do it, though. You saved yourself money, and you get the same version.
Yeah, I just used my PS4 version, and you got the free upgrade. I didn't realize that I had to actually go into a menu and choose it to do it. I thought it automatically did it when you put the disc in, but it didn't.
It should.
Yeah, it should, but it doesn't, which kind of sucks, but whatever. But yeah, everything about it is exactly what I loved about the first game, just done a little bit better. The story goes in kind of a weird direction, but I'm here for it. I thought it was cool that Trinity from the Matrix movies was one of the major characters in it. But yeah, I love the combat. I love the characters. I love the world. The world is super interesting. All the different creatures that you come across in this one compared to the first one, everything. I could live. I want more of that world. I want 30 games in this fucking series. That's all I care about. I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. It's interesting. It's cool. But Aloy is probably one of my favorite game characters of all time. I just love that character. I think she's super interesting and badass and everything.
I could sure use an action figure.
Get the limited edition. Did you get
I got a collector's edition.
Yeah. Well, the collector's edition comes with the big whatever Thunder Tusk or whatever they're called.
Maquette?
But the first one comes with the statue. I want a figure of it though.
I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, the game is considered one of the most anticipated games of the year, and
I still want that Lego set.
Did they at least release one of those little amiibo-y things?
I thought about getting the Lego set. There is a Totaku figure.
I've got
I
that.
might just buy that.
I believe I have that.
But I don't think they don't do. I think Totaku like.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at it. It's obscured by a turtle tank.
I thought about getting it because why not? But I was like, I got the statue with the collector's edition. I do kind of want that tall neck Lego, but that thing was like expensive.
Yeah,
I was like,
well, it's Lego. But
if there was a Lego that I would get, it would probably be that.
Yeah.
Because that is pretty cool. I love the design of the.
Although I do got the Lego portal, the little portal for Lego Dimensions thing, which I fucking love.
Yeah. I love me some Lego, so it would fit in here. I'd probably be here if I built it, but it wouldn't really mix with my other Lego sets. But it would be nice to have. I'd be just happy to have the minifigure. Honestly, the Alien minifigure would be sweet. But yeah.
I want part 3. Part 3 needs to get here right now.
Yeah.
Need it. Want it. Must have it.
I want to play the VR one too, but yeah, definitely another one along the way would be really cool. All right, look,
they've definitely set it up to continue in another game. So
you know what else would be awesome?
Come on, Gorilla, let's go.
Do you know what else has been way too long since they've made a game of? My number one, God of War. New God of War when? New God of War when? Yeah. If it's to anyone's surprise that I'm wearing a God of War shirt with a God of War hoodie, my game of the year is God of War Ragnarok. And I don't think anybody at all is surprised. And if you are, pay attention, man. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, what can I say? Improved in every way. Anyone who's wanting more boss fights, there's more boss fights. More, kind of more to do in general. Improvements on the battle that was really refined in the last game. Got even better this time. I liked the leveling, the different powers and stuff, and the way you unlock them was all great. Definitely worth getting the PS5 for. Just like, holy shit, this is a beautiful game. As soon as I fired it up, I was like, I do not regret this purchase. The whole reason I bought the PS5 was for this, and I promised the whole time, I'm like, I'll have it. Don't worry, I'll have one by the time Ragnarok comes out. And I cut it goddamn close because I was like, they're gonna do a special edition. They did not, but I don't know. I was like, all right, if they're really not okay, it's coming out in like 2 weeks, and they haven't announced that awesome collector's edition yet. So I guess it's not happening. But yeah. They just need to hurry up. When's the new one coming out? Come on, guys. sitting on your hands over there. But yeah. Not enough I can say good about it. It deserves all the accolades it's getting. Goddamn.
Cool.
Movies.
Chris Judge just needed to make a shorter speech.
I think they needed him to
20 more minutes. He didn't even say
fill some time for some reason.
I don't know, but it was like half of his speech was him saying It was like a word, a word, a word, a word.
My guess was like he just figured he'd go up there and accept the award and be like, okay, thank you. But they're like, hey, can you like talk for a few minutes? And he's like, crap.
And he made out with Al Pacino.
Yeah. I gotta say though, the most famous meme from the last game, they really, really held off. Really held off to the perfect time.
With the boy
to use it. Yes. Oh, I was just like, knocked back in my seat because he says his name the whole time. Then when he's running away, boy, I was like, yes. That
was when he was running to Asgard, right?
Yeah, that was the best. So, spoiler if you suck and you're not playing it right now, but yes, great. I'm gonna buy it on PS4 again when it goes down a bit, and I'm gonna do it all again. That's how much I like this game. I'm downgrading just so I have an excuse to do it again. So if it comes out on PS3, I'll get that copy too. Fuck it. PS1, I don't care. Yeah, more.
I can just see your PS3 melting.
More. Yeah, I'm always up. Like everyone knows, it's my favorite series by kind of a lot. I already loved it through the Greek saga and all that, but with the last game, the Norse mythology, the whole Norse style like took over. Like this is cemented as like my favorite series now. So we'll see where they go from here. Hopefully he keeps the beard. But yeah, I'm all for where it goes next. It's gonna be interesting to see where it goes. There's a lot of potential, so we'll see. And Amazon just picked up the series, so they're gonna do a series. But the weirdest part, I know I just said it's my favorite era, but they want to start from the Norse saga, and I don't know how they're gonna do that for people who haven't played the games. Like,
I'm assuming they'll do it as flashbacks to the.
It's just some guy who lives.
stuff.
This is just some guy who lives in the woods of the sun. Why is he the god of war? He doesn't seem like he's violent, but you know.
I would guess there is a large percentage of people who God of War 2018 was their first God of War game, even though it was a really big series. And it does a really good job of getting those people a good idea of what happened. You don't necessarily need all the details.
He talks about it a lot.
Yeah,
and like so far in the new game, he like Freya asks some questions about it, and Mimir asks him stuff about it. So you hear about it.
But we had the benefit of knowing all these things where this is going to introduce it to an audience of people who probably might never even heard of the games.
Oh, this is a game too? I thought this was like to fill the void until Rings of Power Season 2.
Yeah. I think some of the impact might be lost. Just knowing the character, knowing the background, whatnot. But I'm definitely willing to give it a chance. Hopefully, it's good.
I'm assuming they'll do flashbacks, like when he talks about something, and you'll see like it happening. They'll actually film that, or maybe they'll do a prequel series at some point that goes back and shows all that stuff.
Yeah, like
even if it's not like there's a dearth of material out there. There's a lot of material they can cover.
Yeah, like definitely the character has grown and matured in a way that makes him more interesting. He was very one note before, and I'll totally admit that, but it would still be interesting to see all that play out rather than a flashback at like a couple episodes would be good. I mean, like minimum 40 episodes season 1, but like yeah.
Who do you want to play him? Do you want Chris Judge to play him?
They've already cast Topher Grace, so I think all power to him. It's gonna be good. Kratos. No, I'm just kidding.
Topher Grace, Atreus.
I can see him playing Baldur.
He's Atreus.
Oh God, 40-year-old
Atreus. Totally just miscast people, and who's like they're gonna get like.
I want to play Tyr.
They'll get like.
Let's use force perspective.
Yeah.
Who's everybody in love with in Hollywood right now? Like Hemsworth or something. They'll get him.
Momoa.
Yeah, they'll get Momoa to do it.
I think Momoa has got like the voice, he could do it. Like everyone's like Triple H looks like Kratos, but he does not have the voice at all.
I mean the actor
I actually
could
think
work.
As far as like someone who could fit the size and have the voice, I think Momoa from like popular as fuck actors, because I've seen like a top 5.
Oh, okay.
And they were saying Triple H, Christopher Judge, Momoa, Tom Hardy. What was the other one? I cannot remember.
I can see. Well, now that Momoa's not Aquaman anymore, he can definitely shave his head.
Henry Cavill's got time.
Yeah.
No, he's Warhammer 40K now.
Yeah, all the way, 4K all the way. So yeah,
I saw a video where he was like painting armies with people.
Oh yeah, he's just like, fuck it, let's go.
He's the biggest geek, man. He is. I love it.
He's probably had it on the back burner, like slowly starting it. Then all of a sudden he's like, not Superman, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's funny.
Everyone's like Space Marines. Let's do it.
Everyone's like yeah, James Gunn's gonna save the DCU, and the first
And then he
decision he
steps
makes
on
is
it.
like, why are you making? Why are
Yeah.
you getting rid of the one
He's doing
actor that people like from the DCU?
He's doing a complete reboot from the looks
It's like,
of it.
goddamn,
Like-
how many fucking Superman
like-
origin stories do we need?
Like as far as the
Gross.
characters they have, like the first Wonder Woman movie was good, but I don't think Gal Gadot is like an amazing Wonder Woman.
No, she's a terrible actress.
So
Yeah, the
The
first
only
one
thing I like, the only thing I've liked
was
her
okay.
in
the
is
first
the Wonder
movie-
Woman movie.
the
and
first
that's it.
movie is awesome,
Yeah.
and I like Momoa as Aquaman. I like Cavill as Superman. Affleck is a boring Batman.
I like
The
that
cool-
Batman.
The cool, everyone's saying like best ever. I'm like not even close, man.
No.
But like my favorite part of
Ooh,
Affleck's Batman was that warehouse fight in Batman versus Superman.
going to our
but-
top 5 movies.
Then we go, well, go for it.
Related. Sorry, spoilers for my list.
Oh, go for it, man. We can do the 5 right in a row if you want each, because I don't have a list, so
I don't really have a
You guys-
list either.
I'll see
I
you guys'
wrote
list.
I wrote down 2.
I have a list of the top 5 movies I saw this year.
There you go.
I did top 2 movies. I did movies and then I did a show.
There we go. We can just talk about shit we liked from this year. I'm down. Yeah, go
ahead, guesty guest.
Yeah,
Well, for movies, there's quite a bit of stuff. Seen a lot of new movies. But kind of the 2 that really stuck out with me that just couldn't get out of my head. And shit, I mean, generally, like, I like some superhero movies and stuff, but usually they're more,
more of a
You know,
letdown.
yeah, they're not like film. I love film. Like, I like the artsy fartsy stuff sometimes, pretentious, whatnot, but I like a well-made movie. And holy shit, the Batman with Robert Pattinson is just,
Yeah,
oh my god! First
Holy
time we get
shit.
well, in the movies, anyways. Batman being a detective, doing detective work.
yeah.
It's like that's his whole thing, and just the
Yeah.
grit. I like the grit. Cinematography was fantastic. Like atmosphere.
Yes.
I mean, just
It was the
everything.
sequel to 7 I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, so good, so good.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And that's why I said too, like everyone's all like the Dark Knight's like the more realistic. This one schemed it down even more. This is
Yeah.
like he the only gadget he really used that wasn't
It was
like
the eye
a
thing.
real thing
Yeah.
was like his contact lenses. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's it, man. It was
Like-
all stripped down. We got bare bones Batman, but not in like a bad way. Like it
As
was
far as like film Batman goes, give me the Batman and give me Joker. Forget about
like the movie Joker.
the movie Joker. Yeah,
Okay.
I loved that too, but that wasn't this year. The other movie on my list, I thought it was just incredibly unique. Loved everything it did, and that was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is just wild movie. Great
Yeah.
cast, fun, and
Yeah, it was
just
re-
wholly unique.
It was a lot of fun. I got to finish watching. I started watching it on a goddamn plane, and it got interrupted. Well,
Did you
get to the
bagel?
I was pissed off, and I was like, I'll finish watching it, and then I haven't gone back to it. I'm probably just gonna start it right from the beginning again and watch it all. But
Yeah,
It's
it's
just-
probably
I gotta
for the
agree.
best.
gotta agree, it's good.
Anything A24 is probably gonna be a winner. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then as far as like shows anime, like I watch a bit of anime. I watch a lot of shows. There's a lot of good stuff. Do want to give some shout outs to some basic bitch anime that's really good.
Bitch anime.
My dress up darling, fantastic, wholesome but horny. It's the weirdest combination, but it totally is. Spy Family is really good. I haven't watched Chainsaw Man yet, but for TV shows and anime together, because animes are TV shows.
I started
Sorry.
Chainsaw Man. It's pretty sweet. Yeah.
This bad boy, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, man.
Fantastic animation, fantastic story. You got that CD Projekt Red quality level writing, even though they didn't do it, but it was with their participation. It was Studio Trigger. Trigger's renowned for their animation. They do some pretty wild stuff. Or wait, yeah, it's Trigger, right? Yeah.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, and just everything about it. Absolutely love it. Like I still think about it. Like all this time later, like it's
Just wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. Oh, that was a
just
good show.
the characters, like the music, like not usually music I would listen to, but you know, soundtracks always catch me because you get that connection.
Yeah, it's got the. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We're like not usually my jam, but with the
Lack of
the right setting, it fits.
a lack of us cracks and brutal death metal though
Yeah,
from the soundtrack of the movie. But yeah, I absolutely love it. If you like anime, like legit, I'm talking like anime folks. If you have not watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the fuck are you doing? You're crazy. And if you like Cyberpunk, even if you don't like Cyberpunk or you haven't played the game, you don't need to play the game to enjoy this anime. The other like really crazy thing about it, and you know, you guys have talked about it when you watched it previously, is like it's just like spot on to like the game. What you see in the game is what you see in the anime too. Like when they talk, like the Kodak, locations, like weapons, vehicles, like it is like the care that they put into it to like fit it into the world of the game. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people are like, I would love a further season, but I'm almost like lightning in a bottle, man. It's hard to get that twice.
yeah, a little both column A, column B. I'm like,
I would love more, absolutely, but it's like
I love more.
Man,
It's going to be on quality with this.
This is so like, oof, man, fantastic.
Yeah, it got me hyped for the new expansion coming out, and I was like thinking like I was about to jump into my Xbox One copy of the game because, as we know, that I had the collector's edition pre-ordered and it was on clearance at places before I finally got it. But I'd already played it on the PS4, but I left some stuff out from like doing everything on the PS4 version so I could get my money's worth with this. Because I basically was like, I'm not gonna sit and listen to you talk about it if I haven't played it also. So I was like, I gotta buy it and play it. So when we were doing the Game Tenants, that's I was like, yeah, it's gotta be done.
Yep.
And that's when I thought it was gonna be like a month or two wait. And I'm like, good thing I did, because I'd be like, hey guys, I just played Cyberpunk. I don't see what everyone's complaining about. They're like, shut up, man. That's like 2 years ago. So glad.
Yeah. And then
So were you edging while you were watching that?
pretty much. I was holding it back the whole time. And just at the end, just let it all go.
There you go.
Is that you had to kink it like a hose?
And then I wanted to throw in, we're gonna do some like toys stuff, and I was like, hey, this has kind of been like the last like couple of years, like I've really been getting into like statues. That's a really slippery slope because statues can be very expensive. I do pick up some figures here and there, but this one I just particularly love, so I'm gonna give this my figure of the year, and that is the Morrigan Bashujo statue that came out this year.
TDs!
Blue.
Sweet.
I love Morrigan. I love the character. The statue is fantastic. It's probably not
That's gorgeous.
too good. It's a little blue in the light because my light shitty, but I like Morgan. I got a Morgan tattoo. Hey, I think I'm wearing my Morgan shirt right now. We're repping, dude.
Whoa.
We're repping. But I love that statue. But I picked some other cool. I also got Morgan from Dragon Age. Shout out Morgan from Dragon Age. Dark Horse statue. It's kind of cool. Yeah. And I picked up a couple other figures. Picked up a bunch of figures this year. A couple model kits I can put together.
Did you watch the new Dragon Age
Yes.
animated one too? What'd you think of that?
Dragon Age. The hell was it called?
Dragon Age.
Absolution. Dragon Age
Yeah.
Absolution.
I was like something with an A.
Somebody
Yeah,
I was
likes
like, I know it was an awakening.
like it seems like the creators of it took a lot of inspiration from Castlevania, the animated series.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely style-wise.
Just because that level of quality, like it's like solid. Like a lot of times these like the hand drawn animation style video game tend to be like cheapy, like kind of Saturday morning cartoon level. No,
Just
they
get
actually
it
put
out.
a lot of effort into this. Great cast of voice actors. Ashley Birch is one of the characters in it.
Yeah.
Hey, we reached out, Ashley. Contact us back.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like it's kind of its own story, but it does fit into the grand scale of what is currently going on in the Dragon Age universe, which is pretty cool. You can I think you can enjoy it if you don't know Dragon Age. You just might not have that extra like lore connection because it's basically like a heist kind of thing, and then as every heist plot goes, the heist doesn't go well.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool and it's great. And yeah, I would love to see more. I have always been a fan of the extended like Dragon Age universe stuff because I love Dragon Age. One of my favorite games ever.
Yeah. Awakening was
Origins
Origin. What is
/ Awakening.
Awakening. Yeah.
Awakenings was the expansion. Which
yeah,
is
Awakening was the
must
expansion. Yeah.
play.
That's where I fucked up. Yeah. But yeah, they were both good. Yeah, that's that's the only game I think I've gotten the DLC every time the day it comes out.
The DLC for that game is just amazing.
There's so much of it.
Yeah, dude, it puts up to like 140 hours. Like if you do all the stuff,
Yeah,
or maybe even more in it, but it's like totally worth it. Like that's fucking BioWare. Like a lot of people like Mass Effect. I mean, no hate. I love Mass Effect.
I don't know.
Mass Effect tattoo here pretty soon. I love Mass
know,
Effect so
man.
much. But Dragon Age Origins is that's my BioWare love.
Yeah,
Love it. I even got my BioWare shrine that's far off of camera view.
I seen it. It's real.
It exists.
It seemed it.
Sweet. Well, Chris, what you got for stuff you enjoyed and watched?
For the movies, I actually have like a top 5 list of stuff I watched this year that really impressed me. Number 5 was Nope.
Haven't seen it yet. I really want to. I still need to watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of. I loved Get Out. I thought Get Out was one of my favorite movies that came out that year. Us, I thought was really good until like the last 5 minutes.
I get it. I love Get Out until like the last 7 times I've had to watch it in the last year. It's one of those movies where like excellent, but you kind of want to forget what happens before the next time you watch it.
Yeah,
it's like you watch it every like three or 4 years, so you can like rewatching it again.
Yeah, I've watched it 8 times in a year.
Us did not improve on a second viewing. It still did last 5 minutes. It's still kind of like, but Nope. I thought the trailers ruined it. I was like, why are you showing so many shots of this freaking UFO thing in it? And like, you're ruining what the movie's about. No, they didn't ruin a goddamn thing.
Yeah, it was.
What it ends up being about is awesome. I thought it was fantastic. There's a lot of really cool setup to what's going on. You just don't really realize it. And then you watch it again and you're like, oh, it's been there the whole time. You just didn't know the context of it. Kind of stuff like the flashbacks with the ape kind of thing that's going on with it. It's like what that has to do with what's going on in the present is fantastic. I love what it ends up being about. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But if you like Steven Spielberg, you're definitely gonna like it. But it's not like super gory or anything like that. The characters are all likable. I've never seen Keke Palmer in anything before, and now I kind of want to watch her in a lot more things because I think she's really charismatic. I think she's really likable. I can watch Daniel Kaluuya in anything. I've pretty much watched every movie he's been in. He's a fantastic actor. I'd love to work with him if I ever made a movie.
He's great.
He's great. And it's really interesting and well made and well thought out, and it's like a really cool twist on what and it pulls the rug out from under you. How about that?
Sweet.
So I really liked it. Like I was watching in the theater, just kind of going like, God damn, this movie's just constantly surprising me because I thought it was going to go one way and it went a completely different direction.
Yeah, it's good. It's very beneficial that the trailer didn't ruin the movie. I can't stand that.
That's why I didn't go to see it right off the bat because I was like, well, they basically ruined that it is a UFO. So
yeah,
all right.
They should really that should be like a criminal offense if you wreck a movie with the trailer. They throw you in jail.
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was my 5. My number 4 is Avatar: The Way of Water. Just saw it over the weekend. I I'm kind of lukewarm on the first film, so I wasn't like super excited about this. I'm like, wow, it's 13 years later. Like, who really gives a shit anymore?
Yeah.
You know, if this came out like 5 years after the original, fine, whatever. But 13 years later, like, eh. But then again, I'm sitting there going, well, Tron 2 did come out like 20 some years after the first. Okay, whatever. So I gave it a chance. I went and saw it in 4D, and it blew me away. I loved it.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, because the 4D, yeah, I get there eventually. It takes a while, but yeah, like the story isn't anything special. It's very light on the plot. It's mostly dealing with the characters and like the more world building of it, and the whole world aspect, the water aspect of it is really interesting. Like that whole like part of the civilian, the civilization is really interesting.
The whole way of the water, as it were.
Yeah, like it's a different clan of people, and they have completely different rules in the way they do things. It's really interesting. The characters are all likable. There's a bunch of new characters. Sigourney Weaver's playing a 14 or a 12-year-old kid. But like the CGI didn't. In the trailer, I was like, it didn't look like it had improved much since the first movie. Like everything looked exactly the same. But then you see it in action, and it's like, oh damn, yeah, it's very much improved. Like there's so much detail. The 3D, I didn't think it could improve on 3D, but I don't know what James Cameron did, but he sprinkled some crack on the process and made it 10 times better than it's ever been. There's weird things that have weird 3D effects because like you're looking through glass or you're looking at like readouts or whatever. It's fantastic. I never had to like readjust my eyes in order to get the effect to come back. It was just present the whole time. For some reason, it was filmed in 60 frames per second a few times. Which was weird because it's all of a sudden everything looks like a soap opera, but it's done with all CGI characters. So I'm like, huh. But they do it in
a couple $100
moments
million
where it needs it, which is really cool. It's not the whole movie, but there's like specific moments where it needs it, and the 3D stands out super. It's super great there in those scenes. The action is great. Like I said, everything about it is fantastic. It just blew my expectations out of the water because I had none basically. So I highly recommend it, even if you weren't big on the first movie like me. This one is just it's way better than the first movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought the first one was like a decent movie, but I thought it was
okay.
way overhyped.
Yeah,
like it was.
Like it was the same with that with like Titanic. I was just like, I saw it the once, I'm good.
I see any movie he puts out and go, this is why he wasn't making Terminator. So it's already got that. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I saw Titanic, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to watch it ever again, and I really haven't. Although I do own it in 3D, I should probably watch it again. But yeah, this I could see myself watching a few times, even though it is over 3 hours long. It honestly didn't feel like it to me.
Yeah, so I was gonna go tonight, but the schedule's lined up for tonight, so I was like, yeah, we'll watch it for tonight. My daughter Raya's really excited to see it, so
yeah.
Want to take
it is a lot of eye candy. I mean, James Cameron knows spectacle, and this is like it's like he's been learning since the first movie came out exactly what worked and what to focus on now. And it's like the whole movie is just eye candy now. It is fantastic. It is so good looking.
Good to hear. I mean,
yeah, I loved it.
I gotta say that the ride at Disney World Animal Kingdom that I went on kind of got me more hyped for it.
Oh yeah,
because it was really cool. But yeah, going from like not giving a shit, but like I'm gonna go with Araya, who's really hyped for it. So like I said, the first one wasn't bad, but I think it was just all the ridiculous hype around it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't see what the big deal was when everyone was talking about how the 3D is like groundbreaking in that movie because it didn't really impress me all that much.
And the weird thing is, like, 2 years ago, did you hear anyone talking about Avatar? No one was talking. No one talked about it. It was like all anyone talked about for like till like it came out on video, and then for like a little bit after, and then that was it. No one talked about it. No one cared about it. So for like 12 years, no one talked or gave a shit about it.
The only time people would talk about it when they'd be talking about like the top grossing movies of all time. They'd be like, "Oh, Avatar's still number one."
That's what I was getting at. Is like how it's just that's the most surprising part of it. Is like that's the highest grossing movie of all times, and I don't know anyone who's like, "Oh man, I watch it like every couple of weeks. I fucking love it. Look at my Avatar tattoo."
Yeah, I never hear anybody talk about it like that.
But
like I think it's just one of those movies that
apparently
the hype got to
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Create
The
a
hype
comment
got to-
section.
Yeah, the hype got to everybody, and everybody. It was one of those movies where everybody went and saw it in the theater.
Yeah, because you heard it was. They should just like that. That should just be the ad campaign from a movie. Just like advertise that it's the highest grossing movie of all time, like opening weekend. People are like, "Really? I got to see what the big deal is." And you're like,
It's like, this is just Fern Gully.
"Suckers!" Yeah, suckers.
I didn't like Fern Gully.
Yeah. No, they even have the cool Smog Beast guy from Fern Gully.
But
What a
definitely, if you're
letdown.
gonna go see it in the theater, see it in 3D. It blows my mind how great the 3D in this movie is.
Yeah, I'm not
it
sure if
is-
like the whole family.
I hope it ushers in another wave of awesome 3D stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing we can credit the original for. Is like
Yeah,
3D came kind of big for a bit there as a result, but yeah, besides from that, like it didn't really seem to have like a lot of an impact. Plus, I don't know, like especially with like how big Star Wars and the Marvel movies are, I'm like, how is that still like managing to beat them out? It's amazing.
well, it did get beat up by Endgame for a little while. Then they re-released Avatar, and they made a little bit more to put it back over the top.
Yeah, it's like we need $20. Does anyone
Yeah.
want to watch?
It's like the most like
$20.
petty, like we just
Well,
got
it wasn't like that. I mean, they re-released it during COVID just so there was stuff playing in the theater, and it just happened to make just enough more money to.
because they
Step up
wanted
and
to be
back up.
number one.
You know what would be funny?
Like, I'm
is-
James Cameron, bitch.
It would have been funny is if like the weekend this came out, they're like, Endgame's back in theaters. with
Oh no,
more
they
scenes."
did re-release it earlier, like a few months back, because they were doing it to build the hype for the second movie, and that's when it went back up.
That would have just been the funniest shit if they're like, Endgame's back in, and there's deleted scenes, and everyone would be like, fuck Avatar, let's go to Endgame again.
Yeah. Well, didn't they do that with Endgame when they re-released it when they put like a Hulk deleted scene at the end
Yeah.
or something like that?
No Way Home came out.
Yeah,
Again,
I didn't
with
do that.
more scenes. I need to see it again.
Yeah.
I'll buy it again. Whatever. Spider-Man. Who we kidding?
But my number 3 is Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
Did not have any interest in it at all because I hate the first one.
Same.
I
I saw it 'cause
absolutely
of
hate
you.
it. Huh?
I saw it because of you and a couple
Yeah.
other people. Like
I wanted
their
to see it
praise for I was
because the guy
eh.
who directed it directed Tron Legacy and Oblivion, which are 2 of my favorite films. And I do like Tom Cruise, even though he's kind of nutty.
Dude, Oblivion's fucking fantastic.
I love Oblivion. I love that. I saw that twice.
I
in the
like Tom
theater.
Cruise.
Yeah, I like Tom Cruise. I
I
just
like
don't
late
like
Tom
his
Cruise.
It's one of
Not
those it's one of those things where like I don't like Tom Cruise, but like seeing that he's going to be in a movie, you're like that movie's probably going to be good despite him.
Yeah, he knows how to pick a project. He
Yeah,
really does,
exactly.
and pick the right people to do it. So my thing was, from a filmmaking perspective, they were doing all this stuff reel for real with the planes. Like the actors were actually flying those planes, and they had cameras mounted so you could see that they were. And I was like, that looks rad. And then I saw that in 4D, and it blew my goddamn mind. I was just like, I cannot understand how I am actually enjoying a movie called Top Gun.
Tom
Especially
Cruise
after
is
finally-
actually going Mach 9 right now. I believe it.
Since that movie came out, the original movie came out, I have not been able to sit through it in one sitting until right before the sequel came out. I forced myself to watch the whole movie.
It had been at least 20 years since I had watched it, to my recollection.
Still
And-
haven't convinced
and I-
myself to watch Maverick.
And I was still
Oh,
like,
it is so good, dude.
I was still like, this is just like not
Yeah.
not an interesting movie. I just couldn't get into it. I know
Tom Cruise's character in the first one is so
some people are gonna be
unlikable.
like, how could you not?
Yeah.
I don't know,
He
man.
is so
'cause-
unlikable, and there's all this toxic masculinity shit going on.
Yeah,
and-
and it was like there's so much man stuff in him. Like I got Predator for that. Thanks.
yeah.
But yeah,
But the sequel is just, it is so good. It's so well written. It's action is fantastic. That final airplane scene is just like, what?
better than it has any right to be.
Any
Like,
right. Any
it didn't-
right.
I didn't even think it had a right to have a sequel. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
when's the third one?
Yeah.
It was like-
Exactly. The moment it ended, I was just like, I want another one. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want another Top Gun
yeah,
movie.
it was.
It's
I-
fantastic. It is
yeah.
like, it is, the visuals in it will just blow your mind too. The 4K that I have of it has the IMAX version on it. So like when the action scenes happen, it fills up the whole screen, and it is just like, seriously, sit down and go and watch it. It's on Paramount Plus if you have it. Watch it. It is absolutely fantastic. It has,
on
like
Soap
Jason said, it
Opera.
has absolutely no right being this good.
I don't know if I can handle the danger zone.
It's not in there.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but it's just not by Kenny Loggins. But It's
Fall
fantastic.
Out
Even
Boy
the
plays.
fucking Lady Gaga, like the romance thing in the first movie bugged the shit out of me because it's like Tom Cruise is like, I'm going to treat you like absolute shit, and she falls in love with him for it.
Yeah.
And this one, the romance actually makes sense.
Yeah.
You know. So, and it's got Jennifer Connelly. She's still hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was number 3. My number 2 is Batman, the Batman. That was another one that I was kind of like, I'm kind of sick of seeing fucking Batman reboots constantly over and over again.
I gotta go.
We just like stick with one continuity. And then like I said to you, when it was over, I turned to my friends. I was like, that was a sequel to 7 I never knew I needed because it feels like it actually took place in the same universe as 7. It's like bleak and dirty and nasty and gross. But yeah, we finally got to see Batman be a detective, and I absolutely loved it. And I loved this version of the Riddler. It was fantastic. I mean, like I'm not a big fan of Robert Pattinson, but I am now.
Yeah.
Because
The Lighthouse is what sold me on Pattinson.
I still need to watch that.
I knew he could act, like, so I wasn't as like, oh my god, the Twilight Vampire, like that's what.
Yeah.
Batman
can't sparkle. He's the Dark Knight.
I'm trying to think. I think the first movie I saw him in was Tenet.
The first movie I saw him in was Harry Potter 4.
Oh yeah, the Harry Potters.
Yeah, and he was good in that. I remember him being good because like otherwise his death scene in that wouldn't have had any impact if he wasn't good.
Boy.
Yeah, once I saw Lighthouse, and then they were like, "Hey, Robert Pattinson's gonna be in the Batman." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
But yeah, that just blew me away. That was another one that I was just kind of like, we'll go see it, whatever. And then when it was over, I was just like, fuck, like goddamn, I cannot believe I just watched that. Like they had the balls to actually make a super gritty, dark Batman movie.
Well, they said there was going to be a Batman movie, and before I heard anything else, I'm there. When do I buy a ticket? But Araya and I went, just the two of us, when we're out of town, and so it was like super special. And she like got super into like, I want to watch all the Batman stuff now. I'm like, yeah.
We'll start with Batman and Robin,
and like
Batman Forever.
Yeah,
Paul
the exact
Dano
opposite of the movie you just watched.
Paul Dano's actually working on a Riddler comic himself now. Like he's writing
That's cool.
a graphic novel of his own, or a short series.
I'm here for it.
So
and they're saying that out of all the stuff that James Gunn is doing to the DC universe, the Batman 2 is still happening.
Good.
So, and the
You know
Joker sequel is happening.
You know what? James Gunn's got enough of my faith that I just trust his vision. Honestly, like he's done.
I just want I wanted the Snyderverse to continue because after Justice League reboot,
everyone did,
the
but that
remake
was,
of it. I wanted it.
I was fucking hyped.
Everyone did, but they were basically like, "We're doing this for you guys," and then leave us alone.
Yeah.
Pretty much is what they said. So it wasn't. That's not. You can't put that on James Gunn. But like with his Suicide Squad, with Peacemaker,
but that movie made no money.
With his Guardians of the Galaxy movies,
the Suicide Squad bombed.
I don't care how much money.
I'm
not paying the bills.
Like got cult status now, though.
Yeah.
I'm not paying
I just don't want them to get rid of the actress who plays Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, because she's fantastic as Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I don't care either way. I'm just happy. Like I said,
now we're getting Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn too, so we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it already.
In what?
Whatever.
Lady Gaga's playing Harley Quinn in the new Joker movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is apparently
I'll give her a shot.
It's apparently a musical part now or something. So I don't know.
That's why the subtitle's what it is.
Yeah.
So there's that. But my number one movie is Glass Onion.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
It was only playing in theaters for 1 week, and on Thanksgiving Day, my brother was like, we should take Mom to go see a movie. So I'm like, let's go see Glass Onion. I know she liked the first one because I was the one who fucking showed it to her. I was like, let's go check it out because it's only going to be playing for 1 week, and it just happened to be that week. So we went and saw it, and like, I was laughing so hard. I could not breathe at a couple of points because I did not expect this to go full-on comedy. On top of being a great mystery, just like the first one, like a whodunit, this movie is so fucking funny. It has such a great cast. I will watch Janelle Monáe in anything now because she is awesome. It's great. It's so well made. The actors are all great in it. The characters are all awesome, even though a bunch of them are a bunch of scumbags. I mean, it's got Batista in it. I mean, come on. But yeah, it is so funny. I did not expect it. I mean, the first movie was funny, but it wasn't like slapsticky funny. This is like got some serious slapstick moments in it that like made me cry almost. I was laughing so hard. It is fantastic. I don't think I've enjoyed myself at a movie that much in like years. So I absolutely had to make that my number one because that was like a fantastic theater going experience for me. It was funny because like half the people in the theater weren't getting half of the jokes. So like me and my brother are like cackling like witches in the theater, and I hear people going like, "What the fuck are they laughing at?" And it's like, get a fucking clue. That's what, you know. It is fantastic. It is so well. I'll watch anything Ryan Johnson does. So give it to me. Give it to me now. I want a third one. They're already talking about working on a third one as we speak. So do it. I want 500 of these movies because Benoit Blanc is a fantastic character, and I want to see him do all the mysteries.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you say we do some pickups? I've got
You don't have any
top
top
5.
You don't have a top 5 something?
Oh yeah, I've got top 5 Marvel figures.
Do
I
it.
got top 5 non-Marvel figures for the year, but I want to do pickups first.
Okay.
I think we should do pickups first. Break up the lists a bit.
Because we know this part's going to be long.
Not so long today. Not so long. We're doing pretty good.
No, I was talking about your list.
Oh no, it's 5 and 5. It's good.
Okay.
It'll be quick. All right.
So do it, Church. Do it.
Church. Yeah, we'll see what you got.
All right, so I haven't even. I got this on launch. I haven't even posted pictures of it because I'm lazy.
Nice.
But I got Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7. Crisis
So is
Core
it a
Reunion.
complete ground up remake, or is it just like a plate?
It's a remaster. Like the graphics are like way better.
I'm
But
gonna
I think
edit.
everything
I'll
else
edit
is-
my copy in here when I get it. When Walmart ever gets it. Good to see.
I have it for the PSP. I just haven't actually played it.
Yeah, I got it on PSP. I never played it either, which I'm ashamed because I love Final Fantasy 7. But hey, now I got this. I might
It's really fun. I played a bunch of it when I used to work at Walmart.
might play this next. Maybe. I'm thinking about trying to squeeze in something smaller, indie, which is another one of my recent pickups.
I'm fixing to start playing this.
Oh yeah. I got
Chris.
Ender Lilies.
Is that the sequel to Member Berries?
Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Knights, which is I've heard only like the best things about this. This is like a lot of people saying this is like one of the best Metroidvanias, like must play Metroidvania, and I love Metroidvanias. Art style looks awesome, atmosphere looks awesome. So I might be squeezing that in. There's something else too. Another indie game that I was just thinking about playing too, but that's pretty high up on my list. And then we had mentioned this already, but I got the Callisto Protocol. Already played and beaten it. Picked it up the day after launch. I did pre-order it, but for some reason Best Buy wasn't gonna have it on launch day.
That's stupid.
Like the website said, will be available today, and I would have ran on my lunch break to pick it up from work. I called them and they're like, "We don't know, I'll be here." And I was like, "Oh, fine, I'll cancel it," and I just went and picked it up elsewhere.
Just go to GameStop.
Yeah, that's why I ended up, and I never go to GameStop, but they had copies, so picked it up. And then another one that I've already played through that I highly recommend. This is Alyssa, which was it's a PS1 style survival horror game, indie made. Basically one guy made this. There's some other people, but it's one guy essentially. Very much PS1 survival horror game. There's been a bunch of updates. It's only on PC right now.
Unfortunately, good for PS1. Damn it, you lied.
But I was a Kickstarter backer, so I got my name in the credits. My name's in the manual. Like he went above and beyond what was supposed to be rewards for backers. Like I was just expecting, a game in a jewel case, and this is a game. He got black discs, kind of like PS1 discs, which is really cool. Full color manual. It's this is a double thickness one, so it folds out with the second disc, which is the complete soundtrack, which Like that's usually an extra level in Kickstarters, and everybody got the soundtrack. If you got the physical version, got a bunch of postcards and some extra stickers and stuff. And
You love
Yeah.
stickers.
yeah, I don't, but I'll take them. And then
Got a laptop, just put it on the laptop.
yeah, could. Then one other recent pickup that I got that I still haven't posted pictures of her either, and this is a Deedlit model kit. So Deedlit
Sweet.
from Record of Lodos
I
War,
was right.
one of my favorite animes ever, and one of my favorite characters. Unfortunately, for the character to look like this, I would have to paint it. It
I
is
know
colored.
people. I know
Do
people.
it.
Do you?
I do.
Like, I would love
My
depending on
buddy
what they
Charlie
charge.
that I always talk about in my streams that does Epic Die Studio.
Uh-huh.
He's actually going to paint the miniatures that I bought for you guys.
Ooh.
He does that. He does it semi-professionally on the side. He
Like
actually
this
got.
one,
Yeah, he'll do it if you want. He'll charge you, but he'll do it.
yeah, we'll see about that. But like the cape is actually like blue, so the brown is like misleading. But like all the like highlighting is like the pieces are the solid. Like her tunic is green, her hair is yellow. The gold you'd have to paint on, but I haven't put this together yet. Thinking about I got some time off here, maybe. But
Hey,
now if you got somebody that could potentially paint this,
hell
like,
yeah!
Like I can do like the gold paint, but like for a kit like this is best to be completely airbrushed over, which is like
Well, he's Mr. Magnifying Glass while he's painting. So
yeah. Interesting. But yeah, excited for that. And this was actually pretty affordable. And surprisingly, like you would think there would be like figures already existing for like Record of Lodos characters, and there's like nothing. Like there's a couple like really cheap Deedlit like little like I don't even know if they were like high quality action figures, but yeah, excited for this. And then heck, if I can figure like once I get this put together, there's actually some people on Etsy that have like larger like 3D print model kits you can get, and there is one for Pyrotess, which is like the Dark Elf.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really cool. But yeah, I think that was it for my pickups. I've kind of been slowing down, trying to be a little bit more choosy about it. But I'm sure I got tons of crap. I got tons of crap on pre-order, like limited run stuff. Like,
oh god, yeah.
I think there's something coming.
I'm now starting to call limited run the pre-order of shame.
I don't mind. I like limited run.
I
like
do
what
too,
people-
but I just wish I got my games before 9 months after I paid for them.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like people sitting on my money, so I've been very choosy when it comes to stuff like that.
I usually now
Especially
wait until the end of the
after
month.
Turkin.
Yeah, I'll wait to the end of the month and then look to see what they have, and I'll be like, yeah.
I think that I was always not a big fan of it, but that Turkin collection fiasco really made me go.
Oh, you didn't order what's that game called? Fuck. Paprium.
Oh,
That was a whole nother.
wasn't that
thing.
3 years or something?
That was for me. It was like 4.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember you getting that finally.
But he delivered. It
they
came
finally
out.
did.
That's as long as it comes out. That's what matters.
Hell yeah.
But Paprium was a Kickstarter, not a limited run.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Kickstarter. It was
Well, yeah, you
crowdfunded.
just basically went to his website and prepaid for it.
It was essentially it's like he did his own Kickstarter,
Yeah.
but not Kickstarter. Just give me your money. But he delivered. The game is
more of a chance, but yeah, at least he delivered.
yeah, and the game is pretty rad.
But he was paying people back if they were asking for refunds.
yeah.
Sweet. All right, Chris, what you got?
Hi. For the games,
What you got in the chamber?
I went to Wisconsin earlier this month to take part in the Cartridge Club Extra Life charity stream. So I did a lot of shopping around Wisconsin with Rocket Sauce because I spent the night at his place. We made it like a weekend and bought a lot of stuff. But I'm not going to show any of that. I'm going to show some of the newer stuff I picked up, but I saw Radical Reggie post a picture of this, and I was like, when did that happen? And it was cheap, so I picked up the remaster of Final Fantasy VIII. I haven't spent a lot of time playing the original game at all, so I don't know if I'd like it or hate it. I know a lot of people don't like it. But
Awesome soundtrack.
I figured if I'm going to play it, this is going to be the way that I play it and get some achievements in the process. So
It's not Final Fantasy X. It's got that going for it.
So there's that. And then I guess this is a limited run game that I missed. And I love like full motion video game stuff. And this is one of the ones that I must have like dropped the ball on. I found this on Amazon and it's called Simulacra.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get that one. I'm a big fan of FMV games, even though I don't play them as much as I should.
Like I've liked it ever since like the Sega CD days. You know,
Yeah.
it's like old school nostalgia for me. But this one's all about like you find someone's phone and you're trying to unravel the mystery of like what happened to the girl that it used to belong to. And I had no clue. I must have completely spaced on limited run when they were selling this. So I'm glad I was able to find it through alternate means.
Do you have, or are you familiar with Late Shift?
Yeah, I have it.
I would recommend that. That's probably the highest quality. I mean, it's a movie
Mm-hmm.
that you're basically like choosing the decisions that can have like really big changes. I think it's the highest, like the most funded or like highest production FMV game ever made. And they got something else coming out here soon through limited run too. But Late Shift is probably like the best for FMV games. It's so
I keep
good.
on buying all of the ones that they're selling on limited run, but I just never end up playing them.
Yeah.
But I plan on doing it eventually. Like I'm trying to make my way through this stuff.
Just gonna marathon a shit ton of them.
Yeah, like you were doing that for a little while, weren't you?
Yeah, I played
I'm
through
probably
like
gonna do
Late
the same thing, 'cause
Shift, Erica.
Like I started playing the bunker, which is okay. I need to finish it. I was actually streaming it like when I first started streaming on Twitch, and then like I switched over to a different game and I never went back to it. So I definitely need to finish that. But when it comes to like PS5, I found a discounted copy of Ease 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, but this is the deluxe edition, so it's got like all the extra stuff built into it, and it comes with the soundtrack and an art
Nothing
book.
but great things
inside.
about that game.
Yeah, I love the original Ease game, and I have a bunch of the sequels,
The
but I just
original.
haven't played any of them.
There's about like, well, 8.
Yeah, well, there's
games. I think there's more than that. Isn't there?
There's the prequel, there's Origin, there's
Yeah.
like a bunch of side story ones.
There's 9.
I have a bunch for the PSP.
Never played them, and
But
I
like,
always hear great
this is the
things.
one that Nintendo keeps on like swearing is like one of the best game in the series.
That and Origin, like a lot of people are like, yeah.
Origin's pretty fun.
I was
like
watching
that.
Nintendo stream this one day, and I was just like, you know what? That actually does look rad as hell. So I'm gonna play through that one pretty soon. But when I bought Callisto Protocol, I also bought this. I ended up returning Callisto Protocol so I could wait for like a complete edition. But I also picked up Atari 50.
Nice.
It's like the thing was I wasn't really interested in this at first, and then I think it was Top Spot 123 who was in one of my streams and I was talking about the one Jaguar game that I own in my collection on one of my collection streams from a few weeks back, and he was like, well, they actually have the Jaguar version of Tempest 2000 on here. So it's not just Atari 2600 games, it's like games from every Atari console that they've made, plus arcade games that they've made.
Isn't it kind of like presented as like? Isn't it more
It's
like
a timeline? It's like a timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like Lynx game. You can play Lynx games on here. There's Jaguar games. There's like Atari 5200, 7800.
Do you know how many games
2600.
are on there?
Huh? I don't.
I was trying
There's
to
more than 100 playable games.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to look up some info on that, and for some reason, I was having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When he said that, I was like, oh, I don't have to have it, because I was saying like this is the only Jaguar, like the Tempest 2000 is the only Jaguar game I currently own, and I'm like I would buy a Jaguar just so I could play it again, and he was like, just get the Atari 50. Anyway, the Jaguar version is on there. I was like, oh, okay, and then I picked it up, and I got achievements for playing it. So
Perfect. That's awesome.
So, and it has some of my favorite Atari games on here, like Yar's Revenge and stuff like that. But the thing is, like,
Pitfall?
Pitfall? No, that's
It's not on there.
That's Activision.
Yeah, but it's still well.
It's not by Atari.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
But like, there's enhanced versions of certain games on here too. So there's like 2 versions of some games. There's like the original, and there's like an enhanced one. There's like adventures on here and all that. So had to have that once I learned about that, and it is pretty awesome. Like, get to play Lynx games on my TV. Fuck yeah. And then the game that the 3 of us need to get together to fucking play. God damn it.
I just said.
We need to fucking play this, guys. I bought it so we could.
Yeah. Did you get it yet?
Did Rocket Sauce get it?
Rocket Sauce was the one who talked me into getting it because he told me that Walmart was like the only place that was putting it on discount for Black Friday was Walmart. So I got it for like half off at Walmart's site.
I have not picked it up.
Do it. I played the single player part of it at the beginning. There's like a whole single player thing you can do before you actually start playing it multiplayer. And it's pretty fun. It's going to take a little while to get used to like paying attention to what buttons you need to press in order to use the gun and another set of buttons to use the traps. It's a first
played it?
There's like a single player part of it at the beginning.
Okay.
And then once you beat that, it unlocks the multiplayer part of it.
Yeah.
It's like the training levels.
I'll be playing it tonight or tomorrow at least.
What's it comparable to like gameplay?
This one's in first person.
Okay.
And the first mission you do is you go to like a museum and you have to locate the people that are like hiding and tell them to leave because they're being rescued. And then you have to like bust this one ghost that's busting the place up. So you have to like use the gun and trap it, but then you have to use another set of buttons in order to set the trap out and to collect it or to capture it. And it's fun. I mean, it seems like it would be really fun with multiplayer compared to just playing it single player.
Well,
but Ernie
got a
Hudson's
card to
in
be able
it.
to play it.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson's in it. He's playing Winston again. There's a couple. I think one other actor from the movie is in here. It might be Andy Potts.
I think Dan.
Oh, Aykroyd. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. His cult bookshop is now attached to the firehouse.
Sweet.
So, but it's cool. It just seems like it'd be more fun playing it with friends instead of just playing it single player.
Absolutely. Well, when I got some days off, I'm gonna redeem the thing and get my month and start playing it online. So
do it. Let me know.
Well, definitely.
But when it comes to the movies, I've been getting into the cheese. I'm full aboard 4K now. I picked up the Piranha remaster in 4K. Joe Dante's first movie. I haven't seen this in decades. I watched it like last night I watched this, and it's still fun. Even though the girl in the beginning just basically walks into a random guy's house and says, "You're coming with me. We're going to go hunt down some piranha." But it's really fun. It's really silly and funny. I also picked up Dress to Kill, which is one of Brian De Palma's remakes of a Hitchcock movie. This is his version of Psycho. And it's got a weird porno angle because Angie Dickinson shows off the JJ in the very beginning of the movie, and she's like getting eaten out in a taxi cab, and it's like right in your face. So there's that.
3D?
No, I wish. Oh god,
40.
No. Yeah, but Michael Caine's in this.
No.
I would like to tell you to watch Dress to Kill. It's a pretty cool movie. But then, like, I've also I don't celebrate Christmas, but I've been buying a lot of Christmas movies. There's still two more I'm not going to talk about that I bought, but I picked up the remaster of Black Christmas, the original one from the 70s. Bob Clark did this, and then he did A Christmas Story. But I love this movie. It's a really cool slasher, like early slasher movie slash. You've done it.
Wait. Jason, you said you hadn't seen A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I've never seen it. If I have,
I talked about watching the sequel in the last episode.
It's legit. It's like a legit good movie. It's not just a kids movie. It's like
it's legit funny,
and it's not like it's just not like a just a lame kids movie. Like legit, check it out. Like everybody in your family will enjoy it. It's a fun movie.
Maybe I'll make a point while it's still.
I was really surprised. Like
I
thought that was like one of the movies like everybody's seen.
Yeah,
like,
I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, and if I've ever watched it, it was so long ago that I don't remember watching.
Yeah, I generally have disdain for like holiday movies, but
me too.
Christmas Story is like that's almost like not even
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, Christmas Story is like technically it's a Christmas, but it's like it transcends.
Yeah,
Bad Santa's my movie I got to watch every year at Christmas.
Bad Santa's awesome too. But yeah, seriously, like my brother and I were talking about this over the weekend when we saw Avatar. It was like Bob Clark made 3 movies that kickstarted genres. He did this, and that kickstarted the slasher genre. He made Porky's, that kickstarted the raunchy comedy genre, and then he did Christmas Story, and that kind of launched that whole nostalgia like comedy thing. So this is fantastic. It's very strange. It's got Margot Kidder in it before Superman. And then the other big Christmas movie I bought was the director's cut of Krampus. And I'd never.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I never saw it before. I bought this blindly. It was on Amazon, like dirt cheap, for the 4K remaster of it. And this is like the uncut. They call it the naughty cut.
How do you know how much?
It's like I think it's like 2 minutes. Because this came out rated PG-13 originally.
Did it?
And they added in like a couple of scenes where people were swearing a little too heavily and a couple of like flashes of some gore, but that's about it. It's nothing like mind altering.
It takes longer to cut away.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised by that.
And it's actually pretty good. I just wish that it focused more on Krampus and not his fucking entourage. Other than that, it's pretty cool. It's got a great cast.
Sweet.
And then I thought I missed out on getting this with a slipcase because this came out in October, and usually if you don't get it within the first month, you're never going to get it. But I randomly came across the Lost Boys.
Nice.
And this has like some weird metallic cover, slipcase, and all that. Have absolutely had to have this. I was looking for it in October. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I find it at Best Buy at Christmas time. So, what
timing?
Else? That's it.
Cool.
Love The Lost Boys. Good vampire movie. One of the few really awesome movies by Joel Schumacher.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
I guess I'll get right into my crap.
Oh, one more pickup. Sorry. One more pickup. Sorry.
You drag it over here.
Yeah, go for it. He spared you all for moments more.
Drag a whole arcade machine over. The box.
Yeah.
Okay, that counts. Yeah. Tron Arcade 1-Up. That includes Tron and discs of Tron.
Be happy I'm wearing pants. My Tron Arcade 1-Up.
Sweet.
That I randomly bought because it was on sale.
How long does it take to build?
I had money to burn.
How long does it take to build?
That took an insane amount. That took like 5 hours to put together.
Shit.
God
damn.
Yeah.
Did you have to program
I think
it?
this one I want to say took maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Why is that one? Other one is that much more complicated?
It's because of all the lights. This one has like all these lights inside. The marquee lights up. The panel lights up. The joystick lights up.
Nice.
It had the riser. The riser was is probably the heaviest part of it because it has to like hold the whole weight of the cabinet on top of it. That thing took about an hour to put together. I'm not a carpenter, you know. And the thing is, the only screwdriver that I had that fit the screws that they provided is this dinky little thing right here. And I ended up, because of the amount of screwing that I had to do, I ended up getting a blister on my middle finger because of the short handle that this thing had. So it was painful on top of that.
Drill it.
Yeah.
I don't have a drill. I don't have a lot of tools.
Ryobi, $80.
So I had to go old school. So, but together, it's. I played it multiple times. It came with a stool that's Tron branded on top of that, so I had to put that together. It's fantastic. It's right now the centerpiece of my Tron collection that I have out in the other room.
So was it worth it?
And it's taller than me. Yeah, it's worth it.
Yes.
I almost bought the Killer Instinct one because the Killer Instinct one was like down from $700 to $300 for like 2 days, but the shipping on it was an extra $200 if you got it through the Arcade 1-Up website, which is where the sale was. And I was like, it's going back up to the price that it was at to begin with. So then I went to Walmart website because that's where I got the Mortal Kombat one. And they had every Arcade 1-Up except the Killer Instinct one. But the Tron one was on sale for $200 off, and it came with the riser, and it came with the stool, and it was free shipping.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way I'm doing it.
Proud of you. I'm happy for you because I know how much you love Tron. All right. Fortunately, guys, it's time for me to do mine now. So I mentioned Ghostwire Tokyo. I picked up since last episode. But yeah, I got a couple of cheapies at Walmart I was pretty happy to find. I was kind of looking at this on the Xbox One a little bit back. I don't know a whole lot about it, but grabbed Medium.
I hear it's like one of those like swimming in sevens sort of game where it just doesn't excel in a lot of categories, but it's kind of like some Silent Hill-ish vibes, switching between like.
Oh, so it's like Force Unleashed 2.
Looks decent. It's got looks like the This looks like the singer from what's that emo band?
I don't know any emo
I
bands.
don't know. My sister liked them. I don't know. I
Sure.
don't care. The less said about them, the better. And then I also picked up.
My Chemical Romance. Is that who you're thinking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. I knew it. I knew you knew who they were.
I don't listen to that stuff
Astria
either.
Ascending. I picked up. These were both like $10, so can't beat that.
Yeah, I do want to get the medium. I just haven't seen it for cheap.
So,
Yeah,
JRPG. Well, if they have another copy, I'll try and snag it for you.
I want one too.
Okay. Yeah, it looks really cool. So, more JRPGs. I like my RPGs. So,
Oh, by the way, 2023, my new year of the RPG.
Mass Effect.
Thomas,
It's gonna get played.
look me in the eye.
I've already got Final
Look me in the
Fantasy
eye.
VII.
Make a blood pact here.
I've got Final Fantasy VII Remake installed on the PS5 already.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I wanted to get that Final Fantasy VIII when I saw that Reggie was
Dude.
showing it out was so I could play it finally and maybe get some achievements for it.
Yeah, one of my really good friends was like super. This guy drew a line in the sand, and he's like, "I will not play that game until they're all out because I'm not." For some,
For Final Fantasy?
he'll buy games like it's like he doesn't collect, but like digital. He's like whatever. I'll just buy games and eats out. Like the guy has no concerns, but he's like it's a principle. And it's like, what are you talking about? This game's amazing. He's like, nope. And then like somebody, I don't know who it was, like apparently one of his best friends, like my opinion's like, throw it out the dog. We'll take this random guy, and this random guy's like, hey, you should check it out. He's like, okay, I'll check it out. And he's like, you were right. And I was like, I know. Final Fantasy VII Remake is amazing. So good.
Hell yeah.
Proud of you.
No.
Sweet. So as far as
You've enabled my heart. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jason. I just felt the need to proclaim my goal.
I finally got something in that I got a friend of mine to order, actually, because he has a Hasbro Pulse membership, so it ships free even to Canada. But I finally got the VHS series Cyclops. It comes in the cool box. If you remember in a previous episode, I had gotten the Wolverine. It comes with the frame, the picture frame from the meme and everything. So that's awesome.
Not Rogue's booty, though. It should be Rogue's booty.
This is definitive. The Jim Lee is the definitive Cyclops to me. I know him kind of goofy, super 90s, but this is when I think of Cyclops.
That's iconic look.
This is who I think of. I'm not 100% on the cell shading, but I need it.
It looks pretty good.
I need it for my my setup. I currently have a Jim Lee Cyclops that came in the 3-pack with Jean Grey and Wolverine that I got from Heroic Goods and Games during the pandemic. But the Cyclops that comes with that set has his bomber jacket that he wears a lot of the time in the show, and I needed not bomber jacket version.
Naked.
And then the one they put out a couple of years ago is going for like insane cash that I'm not willing to spend on. I'm not big on Cyclops, but I needed this guy, so I'd rather spend the $30-something on him than like $200 on him. So big wins for me.
Yeah, then you release Rogue, then you hit a button on its back and it goes, "Hey, sugar."
Yeah.
Booty.
I just need to throw my voice. Well, I got that Rogue and Gambit when the classic ones came out. I ordered them directly from Target, and I was happy to get those too. Another guy I was happy to get is a more closer to the MCU version of Red Skull, or more like updated. Awesome. Yeah, he's part of the new wave that's out right now.
Did they ever release a version of him from Endgame?
No, they didn't. No, not in the robes.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed on that, but I got him. Most of the other figures I got, I'm actually getting for Christmas. Some of which I've borrowed to show right now, but I'll get to them in a minute.
You're spoiling yourself.
Yeah. Well, I bought them, and
okay.
usually when I buy anything around Christmas time, it goes away. And my wife and I had both said like, "Don't get me nothing for Christmas," and then I got her some stuff, and she got a dog. So what I bought just went away, and I was like, "There, you did get me stuff." All right, so this one just showed up like Monday, so like 2 days ago, as of recording this, and it's the comic version of Gore the God Butcher.
That's cool.
Christian Bale's character from Love and Thunder, and it's much cooler than the movie version. As you can see, the God Slayer sword is actually part of his hand. It's not held by his hand. It's almost like a symbiote version there. I think that's super cool. And he's got his whole robe thing. No underpants. That's just weird. But then he's got his other head. He looks like Voldemort with braids. That's cool.
Oh, he's a Twilight.
Yeah, he's in the Twilight. Yeah, I was gonna say he.
Appropriating
Yeah,
Twilight.
a lot of people were mad when Christian Bale didn't have that.
Ayla
look.
Secura is going to be so disappointed.
Yeah, so it's kind of a bummer that he didn't look like that in the movie. But I think Christian Bale stole that movie anyway.
Yeah, he did.
All right, next up is one that I was waiting for, and I was thinking would be delivered in time for the last episode, but I am super stoked. If you remember, I got the Spider-Man Noir from Into the Spider-Verse last time, and I bought him basically just to get free shipping on this guy, and I'm so happy he showed up. And that's Ghost Rider. Love me some Ghost Rider. All my Ghost Rider figures are either from the first film or like a really old like Toy Biz Marvel Legend that comes with his bike. So I do have his bike.
Look like Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's the good part. He comes with an alternate head. I don't have it right here, or else I'd show it, but it's like actually like him going like this, and his head's like lighting on fire, but it's still got skin on it. So it's like him half transformed. It's a pretty cool head. Yeah, it's and this is up there. I'm not making a list, but the son of a bitch, these guys were hard to track down. Figures of the year. First one is Jigsaw, one of the Punisher's main villains. He was a Walgreens exclusive in the States. I had my buddy looking all over whenever he'd go in Walgreens.
You have a Walgreens like right behind my place.
He went to Walgreens, and then he found out after like going to like a bunch of them every time he would go somewhere and saw Walgreens that it was an online only thing from Walgreens, and Walgreens are dicks. And if you're ordering from Canada, they won't even ship to a PO box. So fuck those guys. And in Canada, it's a GameStop exclusive, and you had to order it and get it shipped to the store. They weren't doing home deliveries on it. And I walked into GameStop when I was in Thunder Bay 2 weeks ago, and there he was, and I was like, holy shit. And this trip to GameStop would be basically I walked in and they were like, hey man, what's a list of figures you've been on the lookout for but haven't found anywhere?
We got them.
They had all of them just because I wasn't trying to shop for myself. And then I was just like, what? Oh, $450 worth of figures at once? As you guys knew, I was bitching about this anytime I went into Walmart in the States. I was looking everywhere for this bastard, and I finally found him, and that's the Asbat. So Azrael Batman armor, if anyone is familiar with the Nightfall storyline where the first time Batman battles Bane, he breaks his back. He has to get someone to fill in as Batman, and this guy goes crazy. Batman has to come back after he's all, gone through his rehab and fixed himself up and kick the shit out of this guy. Excellent storyline. One of the best. Yeah, I looked everywhere. He's a Walmart exclusive. So I went to every Walmart and I asked, of course, and everyone's like, what? No, I don't know about Batman. So I must have went in 12 different Walmarts looking for this guy. It was like some Walmart exclusive. It's so exclusive that not even Walmart has it. And then I walk in, of course, he's right there next to Jigsaw. And I was like, come on, man. I'm trying to behave myself. I'm here shopping for the kids. And then I
Not
look
anymore.
right next, and then I look. It's literally like a 4-foot section, and I'm like losing my mind, piling up stuff, and I had to like turn around and be like, "Can I just put these on the counter?" Because as soon as I like look the next spot to the right, the entire Arkham City wave is there. So we got Arkham City Batman with Solomon Grundy's legs. The Penguin. I don't have a Penguin yet. So we got the Penguin with Solomon Grundy's vest and head.
I would actually consider picking up that Batman myself.
Catwoman
And
with
Catwoman.
Solomon Grundy's torso. I do not have a Catwoman. I held out. I'm not getting the ones from the Batman. And we got Ra's al Ghul with Solomon Grundy's arms. So, yeah. We talked about this when it was released. They'd released that these 4 figures were coming out. They hadn't announced the Build-A-Figure yet. And on this show, I predicted, I bet you, okay, they've got the big Bane out already. They got the Killer Croc out already. They've got the
Joker monster.
the
Didn't you just get the Scarecrow?
Titan Joker. Yeah, I just got Scarecrow last episode. But yeah, as far as like big figures, I was like, and I know they just put up that big Bane.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not, it's
big
probably
one.
not going to be Bane. They did a Build-A-Figure Bane when one of the previous waves. I was like, I bet you it's Solomon Grundy. And if I'd had time to edit it in the day and a half before they announced it, I was like, I would have been breaking news for everybody. I was like, mark my words, Solomon Grundy is going to be and he was, but I was too late. It was like 3 days after, because you know me. I do my best, but time is not on my side or in abundance for me. So yeah, that's mostly my pickups. I'm saving a bit for next time. I'm going easy on y'all, so you're welcome. But unfortunately, now I got to do my top 5 Marvel figures for the 2 of you who care. You're sitting right here.
Lacey, you out there?
All right. So number 5 for 2022 is 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Hulk. Just love him. I'm always a big Hulk fan. The sculpt on this, and like I really like the stand he comes with.
It's got that weird underbite.
Yeah,
That's the dude from Meshuggah.
yeah, he's being metal. It's called being metal, man.
That meme that you made, right?
I can't remember that guy's name.
Yeah, so he's being metal. That's why he's in the metal stance. Like he's like, it even looks like he's standing on a PA. Like it's just the most metal Hulk figure you can get. He comes with a bunch of stuff he can hold on to. I just didn't grab it all with him. All right, and then number 4 is going to be. I've got multiple variations of this because this is probably one of my very favorite Spider-Man outfits, and that's the black costume with the articulation on, and just like the build of him, like all his, like I got one where he seems like he's too skinny. This is just by far my favorite black costume Spider-Man that's ever been made. So the retro collection black suit Spider-Man, as you can tell, I've got him posed for where he swings from my shelf. Love it. And then number 3, I was just talking about him. We got Ghost Rider. He's my number 3 for this year. Excellent. I love these retro series figures. They always seem to put the extra care into them. The ones that come on like the retro card backs. Next up is one as soon as I saw him, I was like, where can I order right now? And it's the Retro Apocalypse. Exactly as
That
seen.
doesn't look like Ivan Ooze.
It's not from the movie.
Oh.
And my number 1 is what I would consider this the definitive Captain America figure. And that's the 20th anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America. He's got all the details you could expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the different, he's got slash marks you can put on here. So if he's fighting Wolverine or someone with a sword, I love it. The only thing this guy is missing is what some previous Captain Americas had was like a throwing hand and had like a red swirl and you could put the shield on it. So it looked like he's throwing the shield. That's one thing they could do to improve this figure. But honestly, I just have to pick one of those up and get that shield effect with him. Love it. worth a little bit of extra money. It wasn't too much more. I think it was like $5-6 more, but he came with a little diorama piece. Excellent. What I consider the definitive Captain America. So when I saw that and I bought it, I was like, good, I don't have to buy any more Captain America figures. Joke's on me because I know I'm probably going to have to buy something to get a Build-A-Figure of some sort at some point. All right. Right off the tail of that, I'm going to go with my top 5 non-Marvel figures of the year. And there's quite a mixed bag here. So I'll get right to it. They're kind of piled up. I kind of had to move them out of the way. Number 5, I'm going with the G.I. Joes and the G.I. Joe Classified Storm Shadow. I love the accessories he comes with. He's a perfect accent to go with my Snake Eyes. And you know me, when it comes to G.I. Joe, I really dig these classified figures. It's really hard not to start collecting them. I'm not huge into G.I. Joe, which is what stops me from collecting them like crazy. But when you got Snake Eyes, you got to have Storm Shadow.
Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are the only ones you need.
It should be the 2-pack. It should be a 2-pack. So, yeah, there's that. All right, number 4, I'm going to go with the Mattel 40th Anniversary He-Man. Love it. Love it. The perfect He-Man figure, I think. He's got all the scaling down. He doesn't look like he's got like the gorilla build like most of the older figures have. As much as I love that, I think it's cool. I'm gonna have to call it out on that. And then where did number 3 go? He's buried. Oh, number 3, I think I was going with the Arkham City Batman. I don't feel like digging him back out. Arkham City Batman was my number 3. My number 2 is Spawn with his throne. Absolutely love this. I'd buy this as a statue. Absolutely awesome. Worth the extra bit he cost as compared to other McFarlane figures.
Hell yeah.
100% worth that money. My favorite Spawn, along with the Kickstarter Spawn, definitely was big. But this one was a figure I've been needing pretty much my whole life. Chris might know what this is. But we're going with the NECA RoboCop. Yep. His leg opens up. You can put the gun in it. Holy shit, that's cool. I'm not doing it right now. But
dick shooting action included.
Yes. Watch this. Watch. Where's your dick?
Whoa. It's crazy.
Oh, right, going not Montiuk.
That should just pop. That should just pop like a fucking zit. So yeah, there you have it. That's my
was that a cyst?
Marvel
No, that was
not
my foreskin.
I still love that remake scene where they're just jumping over fences. It's just a dick massacre. That's the true version of that scene. And
I can never watch that movie and not think of that scene.
The Dickpocalypse.
Like I need to just edit that scene to replace it because that's the true.
It'd be great if somehow you could like trick the production company to like make that the actual like release and they don't realize it and they send it out to everybody.
Yeah, the extended cut. And like, what's extended? Many dicks. You thought he only shot one dick that day? Dicks are still shivering in fear that day. So
Schlongageddon.
All right, so got down with a lot of stuff to go through, but it was a good year. What's getting me more and more into action figures is just the quality that is coming out for them now, and it still pisses me off and bums me out that the Marvel figures are going up, so I've been having to be picky with them. But honestly, the ones I picked up, I've gotten good deals on. Like I got a deal on Gore. I got a deal on pretty much all the figures I got here today because of them not being as bloated as the sales figures were supposed to be. Like they were saying how like, everything was going to be above $40 now, and none of these were above 40 except for Apocalypse and Hulk because they're like bigger figures.
He's
more like they're bigger. So I don't mind paying more for that. That'd be like being like, this Sentinel's more than $30. No, yeah, I'm expecting to pay more for more. So that's my piece. But yeah, the articulation, the way you can post stuff now is just impressive. And like I said, when I opened my collection like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is now, I just noticed like the quality increasing as I went along opening everything. Like some stuff is just dog shit. I've replaced some of those figures now, and I'm glad. The boys have gotten more figures, so they're happy. They don't know. They're too young to know that that's dog shit, and I'm actually kind of being mean to them by giving them that. Hey, you got that, Dad? Yeah, I got you one too. Just don't look too close. Yeah, so it's been a good year for figures, definitely. So, what else we're gonna talk about? What else we've been playing?
Do the highlight.
Yeah,
Which we've been playing?
Yeah. Let's see what we've been playing and do some highlights. Church, what you been playing? We discussed a bit of what we've been playing, but we can go into.
I just finished Plague Tale Requiem. Very good. You played the first game? You should play the second game. Quality, it's like spot on. Pretty much just continues right off. Very, very good. Nice. Definitely needs a little bit more attention. Although I don't think it should have got like the like it seemed like it got some like sympathy nods at the Game Awards, which is kind of weird. Like it's really good, but I don't think it like whatever. Not knocking the game. Anyways, then before that I played Callisto Protocol, and I think it was God of War before that. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to play next. I'm thinking about Ender Lilies. Got Crisis Core. It's like, I don't know, man. We'll see.
The world is our oyster. Well, I know what you should be playing next is whatever you get on your Backlog Roulette, motherfucker.
Or that, yeah.
So, let's see. We'll see.
And actually, it was the pretty sure it was the Backlog Roulette the last time I was on, which kicked me off into playing a bunch of FMV games.
Sweet. Yeah, what did you get last time? I think it was an FMV.
Erica.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an FMV game, Erica.
Sweet.
It's good.
Good. It's a month's later follow-up on how good the game was. And so you beat it.
Yes.
And you enjoyed it. That's good. That's what we like to hear from the Backlog Roulettes. Yeah. And that it enabled a torrent of other FMV games. That's exactly what Backlog Roulette is for. Chris, what the hell you been playing?
I'm still playing Ragnarok, like I've mentioned before. I'm still playing Bloodstained. Started that off before God of War, then God of War kind of took over.
I was actually just thinking about I haven't played the Child of Light add-on character. I've played every single character in Bloodstained to completion, and I haven't played that one yet. So I might just throw that in because that's always a good excuse to revisit that game.
Yeah, Nintendo was streaming it. It still is, I think. And that got me interested. I was like, I never have played that. I own it, but I still haven't played it. So got me into playing that, and I'm really enjoying that so far. But I stopped to play God of War, and I'll go back to it once I'm done. I also will be playing Shredder's Revenge when that shows up on Friday.
Sweet. I think Nintendo. Speaking of Nintendo, I think he was trying to stream it when it came out on Switch because I think he bought the Switch version. If I recall.
Yeah, he's playing the PS4 version now,
and he was just so mad at it. I think that was like pretty much when he kind of started streaming.
Yeah.
And I remember him having trouble.
That game was like breaking Switches when it first came out.
Yeah. Too good for it. Sweet.
Luckily, I did not open my Switch copy because that was what I bought.
7-year-old console at this point.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sent it back to Amazon and got the PS4 version instead because I started, like the day it came out was when I started reading about all the bricked Switches because of it. I was like, yep, not opening that one up. Send it right back, got the PS4 version.
That's exactly the reason where if it's on anything else and Switch, I'm like, anything else, please.
I got my name in the credits of that game. You can look at my...
You're not on one of the portraits in the halls?
No, but
that's not your cat or your dog that we're attacking.
No, but my name is in the credits. But one really cool thing about how they never do this with any other game. Usually it's in alphabetical order. The worst is when they just randomly throw names in there because good fucking luck finding a name.
Yeah.
Like
The
Battle
really
Axe?
cool thing with Bloodstain is they gave all the backers got a backer code because they also had another thing where depending on like this dumb clan thing that they did, you could get like a special item or something. Like I was like Team Game Sack, so I got like it's like supposed to be like the Genesis Power Strip, but it's like a sword. But you put in the backer code, and it puts you at the very top of the backer credits. It has your title because you get a title, and then you get right there at the top, so you don't have to sit there and go through all the credits. It's really cool.
Sweet.
They should Kickstarter should do that.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. What's your title?
I can't remember. I don't. Well, it was like tiers. I think like what
Okay.
backer tier you were.
Okay. That's sweet. Is that all for you then,
Oh yeah.
Chris? All right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, right after we finished last episode, I think it was the next day or maybe like 2 days later, I finished it. I platinumed it. God of War Ragnarok, and then I went right into. I didn't want to let the post-game sadness like sink in. Like, oh no, what am I gonna play? And I jumped right into Gotham Knights, the Batman-less Batman game. Batman's in it to a certain degree, but yeah, this is made by the same team, I believe, that did Arkham Origins. And a lot of people dog that game a lot, and I think it's pretty unfair. I love the story in that game, and it should be on the remastered collections when they come out. Should be part of it. Full stop. It's amazing. But this game, less so. Although I will say, like, I wasn't feeling it right at the beginning, and the more I played, the more I got into it. There's some cool stories, side stories. It's set up a lot like the Arkham games, where you got the open. It's got a whole open city though, rather than like a walled off section like in the Arkham games. Well, I guess I should say Arkham City. Arkham Asylum was all of the asylum. Arkham City was a walled off part of the city. Origins was kind of like a walled off part too. Like you only got a certain section. Night, you got the whole city, but this game falls short in some crucial ways that hold it back from being excellent. You do get to swap between any of the four main characters here that aren't Batman. You got Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Red Hood. And I was Nightwing for pretty much the entire game. Everyone's got like a little side story. It's basically just cutscenes that unlock the more you go through the story. So at the end, I basically just switched between the four characters and did their little piece to see their little side story. It was kind of cool. But I found the most Batman looking outfit I could for Nightwing. So it was almost, I was trying to make it as Batman as possible. But yeah, the things that it falls short from are traversal is just kind of a pain in the ass. You know, in the Arkham games, you got the Batmobile in Arkham Knight. You got zip lining through this. You know, you got the grapple gun. You got the cape. Just makes it so awesome. They all have their own mode of moving around. Like I said, I only played as Nightwing, but he's got the stupidest mode of transportation, which is it's exactly the Green Goblin glider from like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, except it's got just two like pull-up bars and he just hangs on it. And when I'm flying like across the entire city, that's pretty ridiculous. Like Bruce gave it to him and like, yeah, this will get you point A to point B, but like you're still gonna have to work out the whole time. So they're just like, oh, he's just hanging from it, flying across the city, and it's so slow. There's quick travel points that you can unlock. You gotta like stalk these drones and scan them, but there's still like so far you've got to go. Like
who's one of the others was what Red Hood?
Yeah,
right?
Red Hood. Yeah.
Yeah, like he just
Jason Todd.
he just runs through the like floating like invisible platform. Like he just
Yeah, I think Batgirl uses a cape and stuff, shit like that.
Although I
yeah,
will
like
say,
I didn't play
Batgirl's
through-
design almost got me to check out the game.
There's, if the suit isn't selling you on it, there are so many suits for all of them.
I like the way Batgirl looks.
Like there's some even cooler
Boobs.
ones than that. So there's a ton of really cool ones. Another, like, it gives you the bat cycle, but it seems so slow. But it's got like anime like speed lines when you're driving. Like I swear,
Oh, yeah. I saw some videos. I saw some videos of that. It looked ridiculous.
I swear I'm going like 20 miles an hour, but it's like, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I am not in Akira, sir.
I'm not going fast. And then even like, so basically my whole thing was like get to a rooftop and use the hang glider. So kind of stupid. Another thing was the combat. I'll be honest, I was expecting like Arkham Combat when I saw, it's a WB game. Like they own the rights to the Arkham Combat engine, which is why Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War are exactly the Arkham fighting style. And I'm like, I'm absolutely here for that. If you want to do that in every game, I don't care. I'll buy Arkham City with a different skin 3 times a year. I do not care. But this it wasn't ass, but it definitely didn't hold up the caliber of what I was expecting. And when I'm already trying to like it because Batman's not a playable character, like the combat needs to be spot on, especially when that's like your main thing. The story, like I said, it was pretty cool, but yeah, it gets really kind of repetitive towards the end. So if you have been wondering about it, from what I hear, it's definitely better than it was at launch. But I don't know, wait till it's cheap. It's worth a playthrough, but it's not if you're not a huge Batman fan, I would say.
Did you pick up Midnight Suns?
No, I want to right away.
That one
but
I'm really curious about.
yeah, I really was hoping. Probably it's one of those things I'm hoping goes on for the Boxing Week deals after Christmas. If not, I'll probably be buying it soon because I know Walmart actually has that. So
Yeah, I've been
if they
hearing a
don't-
lot of like buzz, like really good buzz about it.
I've been stoked on it since it was announced. So
For some reason, I
it's
like missed all
definitely-
the trailers and everything, and I was like, "Why hasn't there been any trailers for this?" And turns
Yeah.
out there's like trailers for like months, and I was like, "Okay."
yeah, I was like, I remember because I said something about being stoked on it. Like Callisto Protocol, and that comes out next week, and you're like, yeah, oh, that's coming out already. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got all the best characters
Yeah, I
in
don't
it, so
know how I
I'm here
missed-
for it. But I'll hopefully by next episode, because if I get that, that'll jump probably to the top of my need to play list between that and Ghostbusters. But yeah, here's hoping I get that because they do have that at Walmart, and if they don't get Crisis Core in the meantime, I'll probably be my after Christmas pickup. So right away, I want to play it. All right. Besides that, after that, I went right into. I was actually between that and my Backlog Roulette game, and then I went right into Ghostwire Tokyo, and I don't think I played a little bit of. Also, I played a little bit of High on Life.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm
that was
loving-
fun. I'm really thinking about maybe getting that next. I don't know.
I'm
Is that
loving
physical?
that. No, it's digital only now. They don't even have any plan as
Here.
of yet for a
I
physical
will
version.
High on Life. I'm buying that next.
Yeah.
So I'm playing
So-
next. Just decided right now.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun. I've heard any negative stuff I've heard is from like a reviewer
Yeah.
that it probably isn't even a fan of this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like
Probably
Well,
never
you
even
know what
played
you call
Trover.
them, right?
They're like, apparently people were complaining that like one of the guns is too chatty or one of the sidekicks is too chatty, and I'm like,
Hmm.
have you not
What,
played a
me?
Squanch game? That's what.
Well,
That's
I was gonna say,
what-
you know, you can call
it's
those
funny.
reviewers, right?
Yeah, that's what's
Fucking piece of shit.
like that's what makes the humor of this stuff is not the scripted stuff. It's obviously off the top of the head
Yeah, that's
conversation
primo.
shit. So
That's
I wanna
where
play that
half
again. Now you make me want to play that again.
half of my time playing Trover was just me
Yeah.
standing there listening to them riff.
You're making me want to play Trover again.
Well, Church, I will say, it's on Game Pass, so you could hook up the Xbox One, and you spent all that money on that controller, and Game Pass, I think for the first month is like $1. So you could explore to your heart's content a bunch of Xbox stuff.
I think I had. I don't know if I'd get that because I had it to do when we played Gears.
Okay.
So I don't know if I get.
No, that's just live.
Oh,
Game Pass is
yeah,
like where you like so many games.
Download any games you want, kind of thing.
Yeah, so recommend it. It's on Game Pass. I know we all like physical games, but if it's the only way to play something, and I'm not waiting, 2 years for them to come out with one. Like I'd rather play it now. If that's the only way to play it, I'd prefer to own it, but basically playing it for free is cool too.
See, yeah, that is cool. The only catch with that game is it's a first-person shooter, and I have a bugaboo about first-person shooters on consoles.
Get good.
So the Xbox controller is made for, bruh.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you guys see the PlayStation 5 Pro
Yes,
controller that's coming out?
was that?
Yeah, apparently the battery life's going to be worse on it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind
It
of
has an extra set
interested.
of buttons on the back now, so
And you
I
can
don't
switch
need-
out the
I don't need
triggers,
that.
so I have like customizable thumbsticks and stuff.
It
It seems really cool, but I don't play like that's more for like
Competitive?
competitive level.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't.
But I'm kind of thinking about getting the controller. Like if they got like cool colors and customizable shit, I might get it.
Yeah, I saw the different thumbsticks you can swap out with it. I was just like, there's some of them that like the extra texture would actually help a lot.
Because I don't like that's it. The only thing is like
don't
for some
blame the
reason I feel like when I'm like
controller,
moving forward with the joystick or the joystick,
Thumbstick.
like just I feel like I'm like
Slipping, right?
no, I feel like I'm not like pushing on it that hard, but it feels like I am pushing on it that, or like just kind of like digs into my thumb.
Mm.
It's kind of weird. I don't know why. And it's always been like that for me.
elderly complaints.
It is, but
Don't blame the controller, man.
This is PS4 controller.
Jaw dogs.
Jaw dogs.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah,
Maybe that's what I
don't
need.
even-
Then I can finally play first-person shooters on the console and not bitch and moan about it the entire time.
It's time. So yeah, I've been enjoying the hell out of that. I'll have that probably finished by next episode. So, but I got right into Ghostwire, and it was one of those games where I'm like, I don't want to get away from this because then it might jeopardize me actually finishing it. So I was like, okay. But I downloaded High on Life as soon as it went up, and I had to play that at least a bit. So I'm probably like 3-4 hours into it, but I'm gonna go hard and get it going. So looking forward to that. But yeah, besides that, that's all I've been playing. Anything of any note that you guys have been watching besides what we've already talked about? No. Well, Wednesday.
Wednesday was
I
good.
watch it.
I watched Wednesday. Oh, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.
It's not like amazing. Like the people that are like freaking out about it, like it's like calm the fuck down. Like it's almost like I'm cool if I like Wednesday because it's like counterculture. It's like motherfucker, you're a Fairweather fan, but
yeah,
it's enjoyable. I like that it doesn't like play it safe always. Like it will.
Yeah.
It'd be
people
a
are
little
praising it or
violent or-
praising like the stuff that doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
the biggest thing is obviously the dance that everyone's emulating. Like they're doing.
And
something
then I was like,
special.
I didn't who like why is because that's
not-
like the trendy shit. Like people
It's
are
not
in it 'cause
particularly impressive.
for the trend. They don't care
Making goth
about.
popular again for a hot minute.
Yeah, and it's not even real goth, but
Yeah.
whatever. I did watch something. Oh yeah, I watched Dragon Age Absolution,
Yeah.
which is a Netflix original. It's actually I thought it was really good. I was actually really surprised. Dawn of the Seeker, which was the first Dragon Age movie
Mhm.
that they did like CGI for, like that was okay. I mean, it could have
This
been a
was
lot
definitely
better.
Yes. They also
this-
did a Dragon's Dogma, and it was kind of like the same styling of the first Dragon.
I need
Age
to
one, and
catch
I
up
wasn't-
on all those video game anime.
I wasn't really as into it.
I still need to
'cause,
watch that League of Legends one. Everyone tells me the League of Legends one is awesome.
Yeah, it's decent.
But yeah, Dragon Age Absolution's pretty good. I think can be enjoyed maybe by people who don't play the games.
Is Morgan in it?
Try it out. Anyway.
No, it's no. There's a couple characters, but they're just like almost like
A reference.
more, yeah, like a
Background.
reference. But they have like it like has a significant connection to the story that's going on. This is kind of like a heist movie that goes bad, but it's really good. It's short. It's only 8 episodes. It's fine being its own thing. Like they could potentially do more with these characters. What I'd really like to see is these characters show up in Dragon Age 4 to some regard.
Yeah,
Because there's some really cool characters.
Yeah, some of them are really interesting. So it would be worth seeing.
Yeah, but other than that, like I'm like trying to watch through Letterkenny so I can get up to Shore. I want to catch up and then watch Shorzy.
Yeah,
Instead of watching it like out of order.
it's good on you. And then I was just like, "Hurry, where are you at?" You're like, "I'm like 5 seasons back still, man." I was like, "Oh, yeah." Shorzy's short but sweet. I liked it. And Letterkenny is always a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been watching a bunch of movies. I'm trying to catch up with all the stuff I've missed over the year because I've been working on extracurricular projects and not being able to sit down and watch flicks. So
Yeah,
I just been like powering through movies since I got on vacation. So
when I've been home, I've been just throwing like YouTube on because I've been trying to get so much done around. I don't have, I've been sitting and watching a lot of stuff. Besides from like Wednesday was like our family show, so it took longer than it would have taken if I was just watching it myself or with my wife. But yeah, the kids loved it. I was like lukewarm on it, but I think it was because my wife pointed out that Wednesday looks a lot like my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, oh yeah, that took me out of it. Like
Jen Ortega's a good looking lady. She was in
X.
X.
Yeah.
Which that movie deserves a shot. I know you talked about Pearl last time.
yeah, I just bought Pearl on physical. Actually,
Yeah, I want to double down on the praise for that movie and Mia Goth.
Yeah, she's not going to get nominated.
Her
Obviously,
monologue and then that
Yeah.
just the end credits part, like the last like 20 minutes of that movie, just fucking phenomenal. Holy cow!
Yeah, I've had both those on my short list for a while.
And there's that new Cronenberg movie coming out that looks pretty interesting. That she's in that too. I think I shared a trailer for it, but
I just watched Crimes of the Future not too long ago. His last movie, which was special. If you like Velveeta, you'll appreciate that movie.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've basically just been watching flicks. I'll just name a couple. Let's see here. Black Adam. I watched that on HBO Max. It was all right. Watched Clerks 3. I was not a fan. Watched Troll, the new Netflix movie from Norway. That was all right. I thought.
Yeah, I wasn't big on Clerks 3 either. I wanted to be, but I just
maybe the
it felt
sense
like it was like half a movie of him wanting to reuse old footage, and the other half was him just kind of going like, "Oh, by the way, guys, I did have a heart attack for the 3rd movie in a row. I'm going to talk about it."
I enjoyed it. It wasn't great. Like it has lots of faults, but I enjoyed it.
I was not a fan. Yeah.
But I'm a big View Askew universe fan.
Well, I am too. It's just I don't think he's really made a legit good movie since Red State.
Yeah, Red State was good. I like Red State, and I agree with you. Like everything since then's not been very good. I did like Jay and Silent Bob reboot again. It's similar. Jay and Silent Bob reboot and Clerks 3 have those very similar issues. Where
It's him trying to insert his personal shit into the movies, like talking about the vegan stuff and having a heart attack. It's like, dude.
But I still enjoy it because I get to see the characters I enjoy. The cameos are really fun. Anyways,
I didn't. The laughs. There's always like some solid laughs in those movies, and I didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't really
get
laugh
any
at
from
Clerks
the movie.
3.
he's definitely lost his
The only thing that made me laugh in Clerks 3 was when they were doing the auditions.
Yes.
And
Really
what's
good.
her name? Melissa Benoist shows up.
Yeah.
and so did her husband, who they're both on Supergirl together, and they're like, "Hey, how about we make this movie a musical?" And they start talking about musical theater. That was the only part that made me laugh because I know that she was on Glee, so that makes sense.
And all four of the Impractical Jokers are there for the auditions too. So
And Ben Affleck doing his fucking Boston accent.
Yeah, so it was cool to see.
I think that was the first time in history I heard Sarah Michelle Gellar drop the F-bomb.
Applesauce, bitch.
Yeah. You were giving me shit earlier for not having seen Snowblind yet. But I finally watched Snowblind.
Good to see.
That was definitely better than Battle of the Realms.
Yeah, well, it's pretty.
Scorpion
I think you talked about it the last time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he got it last.
Oh,
time.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I think you were like, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow or something. So glad you finally got to it.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, we need to talk about it. But yeah, it's pretty easy to beat Battle of the Realms. But yeah, Scorpion's Revenge is still the
top. Yeah.
Of those animated ones, anyway.
But I'm not sad that I own it, like I am about Battle of the Realms.
Yeah, it was cool to see. Like you said, some lesser known or like
the third stringers.
Yeah, so
because you got like Kenshi, and then you got Tremor, who's only usually been like a bonus character, like a DLC character, I think, in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah, like
and stuff. Then the Cobra.
Not everything has to be about the same characters from Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah,
like we can move on. We can move on and we can add to it.
And also, it surprised me who played Kano.
Yeah.
David Wenham from The Lord of the Rings. I was like, of all the people, the dorkiest looking guy to play Kano.
He's got to branch out. Doesn't want to be typecast.
Yeah. And then I watched The Woman King, which was pretty good. Very historically inaccurate, but it was pretty good. The action scenes are awesome, and I love the actresses in it. They're all fantastic.
Yeah, I was checking that out. I saw it on my site that I watch movies on at work, and I was like, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, they had it on Amazon to rent for like $6, and I was like, for $6, I'll rent it. It's cheaper than going to the movies.
Absolutely.
And that was pretty awesome. And then I watched the DC's League of Super Pets, which I was not big on at all.
I enjoyed it with the kids, but I understand.
If you're watching with kids, I can see it because you kind of get caught up in it with them.
Yeah.
But on its own, I was just kind of like, it's just another kids movie. The same kids things they do in every
movie. It was just The Rock and Kevin Hart finding an excuse to hang out.
Yeah. And then last night I watched Don't Worry, Darling, which I did not enjoy.
Well, the controversy around it seemed more interesting. They were trying to make more of a big deal about that than the actual movie.
I mean, when it's doing the paranoia thriller part of the movie, which is like the first 3/4 of it, like trying to figure out what's going on, it's not so bad. But like once you find out what's really going on, it's like, really? It's like, really? It's just very underwhelming. I was like, that's what this is about? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So was not impressed. I watched that last night.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. Well,
but it was on HBO Max, so I wasn't going to complain because I didn't pay for it.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess we can move on to retro game and movie highlight. What you got for us, Church?
Oh, yes. Let me reach.
Come on.
Let me reach.
What did
I'm
you
grab
highlight?
it. Grab it.
There you go.
I think I talked about this on Game Tenants, but I'm gonna go with
That's
this bad boy.
That's been like a point of interest for the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, this is perfect to talk about.
We were just talking about that earlier today. Yeah, someone.
Yeah, says Xenogears for the PlayStation 1, Squaresoft classic. Very cool game, kind of like, dystopian setting. There's like interesting like combo system for the normal turn-based, and then they will get into mechs, and you do like mech battles. There's a lot of like anime cutscenes, in like 90s. When did this come out? 90s. Hold on.
Was that 97 or 98?
98. Yeah. So in 98, like for me anyways, I was like, give me that anime, because it was hard to get anime back then.
Yeah.
And they did it so well. And this is like, I mean, as far as like legendary Squaresoft, like Xenogears, I mean, I go back and forth between best JRPG on the PlayStation 1 between this and Final Fantasy 7. Like, I regard this like that high. I even got the Xenogears X tattoo on my arm. Really good stuff. Really crazy story. A lot of there's a lot of people that are like, oh, the last, the second disc is lacking, but I think it's really cool. It kind of runs into like a similar situation, and there are in some ways. It's hard not to make parallels between this and Neon Genesis Evangelion, but they both kind of like had the same issues where like they were doing some like really heavy stuff, and then the studio's like, hey, we're going to cut off funding, and I think they, went crazy with whatever they did. Yeah, ran out of money. So there's a lot of monologues and text, but I mean, the game's awesome, absolutely awesome, really cool ideas. And this I would love of all games to do that needs like a remaster or a remake. It's definitely Xenogears, and unfortunately, I don't think it's ever going to happen just because of what's happened with the creator and the whole series. Like, that's why we never got a sequel, because this was going to be a universe, and then we ended up getting Xenosaga, which was like in the same universe, quotations, because he didn't have the rights, because he lost the rights, and then he lost the rights to that, and then now there's those Xenoblade games, and those are like completely like nothing absolutely at all to do with Xenosaga or Xenogears. But it's a shame because, man, these games are so good. The soundtrack's amazing. Oh, everything about it. Great. Check it out. Xenogears. It's kind of expensive, but emulate.
Yeah.
Jason gave me a copy of that one.
You did. Yeah, I had someone reach out trying to buy my copy. That asked my wife, but not today, sir.
Oh.
If I find another one, I'll let them know. But I can't share the wealth when it's my wealth.
Yes.
I'll sell you disc one when I'm done it. Yeah, I've got it digitally and I've got it physically, but I got to keep my physical copy. It's gotta
do it.
So cool. What's did you have a movie highlight too, or did you just do one or the other?
I just did the game.
The game. All right.
If you want to do a movie, I can throw in a movie real quick.
Go ahead, man.
That's not.
The floor is yours.
I'm no stranger to it. It's one of my. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've seen it like a million times. Every time I watch it, it's great. Super random. Gattaca.
I just bought the 4K of that.
Fucking love that movie.
Steelbook too.
Ooh, love it. Love it. Gattaca. Check it out. Great cast.
That's where Uma met Ethan Hawke, and they made Maya.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke, Jude Law. He's drawing blanks on the other names.
Uma.
Yeah, Uma Thurman. Yeah, check it out. It's really good. Cool sci-fi movie. Just
all about the ideas.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good recommend. Rolling right along. Let's go right into Backlog Roulette. What'd you get last time, Chris?
I got The Mummy on the Game Boy Color.
And?
It's actually not too bad.
Yes.
It's kind of like a platform puzzler. And the coolest thing about it is, you know me, I'm a freaking music geek when it comes to like movie scores and video game scores and all that. Yeah. They put the movie score in here.
Ooh.
And it sounds, it obviously doesn't sound like a fucking orchestra, but like it's instantly recognizable if you've watched the first movie as much as I have. So I was sitting there like the opening credit scene of the game. I'm sitting there going like, holy shit, that's the opening of the movie. And it's pretty cool. You get to play as different characters. So the first section you're playing as Evie and you're in the museum and you have to collect 4 books on Egyptian history, but it's kind of set up like Goonies 2 where it's kind of like a maze with like platforms and stuff, and certain doors only go one way. So you kind of like figure out ways to like loop around and loop back when you're finding these things. And along the way you pick up your brother and he like joins the group and now he's playable in the next section. And the next section you're looking for Rick. No, it's like you beat the level as Evie, then you move on to the next level, and the next level you're playing as Jonathan, her brother. But his level is really hard because you're looking for Rick, and he's like in jail, and you also have to collect, I think it's like 8 money bags in the stage, and it's another like maze with like ladders and platforms and stuff. But the thing is, there's certain walls you have to break through with dynamite, but there's only a specific amount of dynamite available, and there's a couple of walls that you don't actually need to blow up. So it's like all trial and error. You got to figure out which dynamite you need to use on which wall, and to maximize, getting through and get all the money bags you need to complete the level and rescuing a Rick so you can progress. So that was really tough. That one took a bunch of resets. Huh?
I was gonna say, when you use too much dynamite, it'll be like you fucked up and like use a life.
No, basically you just have to reset. Luckily, you get passwords in between each stage.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not so bad.
So that's good. So you don't have to completely redo, which I did, though. I ended up restarting the whole game and like playing through Eevee's level again, which honestly, once you know what you're doing, takes like 3 minutes.
Okay.
But like, and then you play as Rick in the next section, and it's kind of like a beat 'em up because you have your sword and all that, and it goes through basically the entire movie. And there's like really digitized pictures from the film for the cutscenes in between and all that. And it's actually not bad. Konami released it, and back then Konami was doing some pretty high quality stuff. The animation's cool. Like I said, the music is right out of the movie. Perfect. And it's really cool that you get to play as all these different characters that do different things. So I was really enjoying it. I do want to continue playing it so I can finally beat it.
Excellent.
So I enjoyed it very much.
I still got the Mummy Returns on PS1 that you gave me at MGC the first time we met. So
nice.
That's actually on my list now since I revamped my list. It's on my list, so maybe I'll get it this time.
Well, all I did when it came to this on my list was I just added Returns to the end of it because I have Mummy Returns on the Game Boy Color too.
Perfect. As long as neither of us gets Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, we should be fine.
Yeah. For all we know, the game is better than the movie, like X-Men Origins.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, I got Shadow of Rome. Listen, I don't know why I keep holding everything like Gambit, but yeah, Shadow of Rome.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, the
like I choose you.
Yeah, no, Gambit. Not my hair's not that frizzy today, is it? So,
just stick your finger in the socket real quick.
So back when the PS2 was new, and I was buying like 2 new games a paycheck, regardless of if I was playing both of them, I was just always, oh, I'll get this and this, and I was buying them like crazy. Then I just kind of, for some reason, I quit cold turkey, just like stopped buying games. I think it's because I had so much. I just stopped playing games for like 2 years for no reason. And this was one of the games I was actually hyped of on like coming out, and like it was coming out in like 3 months or something. And I just, when I stopped that, I never picked it up. I got it way later. But I remember seeing like trailers, or maybe I even played a demo. Maybe it was on a demo disc or something. But I just remember being super stoked for this. Because there's like a lot of arena battles, there's sneaking sections, there's chariot sections, there's, I don't know, it's a really cool story. I did finish it. It's a pretty long game. It's a lot. I should have double checked on the length of it, but it was around 22 hours, I think I played. So it's a lot of fun. I'm glad I finally got to play it. But yeah, when I got into collecting again, it was like a game I kind of made a point of tracking it down. So I'm glad I got it. I forgot about it for a bit, but then I was like, oh wait, I remember there was this like, I can't remember what it was. I was like, there's some kind of Greek game I really want to play. And then I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh, God of War. And I was like, I'm not talking to you no more. You don't know games. So I was like, yeah, it's like a hack and slash, and it's like takes place in like Greece or Rome or something. And it's like, I can't remember what it was called. And then I was like, one day I remembered, and I think I went right to Amazon and ordered it. So excellent. I'm glad I finally got to play it. I feel like a chapter is closed. I wanted this since, oh damn it, it's got an Amazon freaking warehouse sticker on it. I don't know, whatever year this came out. I think it was like 2005. It was right around the time that, I think it was right after San Andreas came out, that it was supposed to be coming out. So yeah, I think around 2005, I've wanted to play that. So 17 years later, finally checked it out. Great. I actually recommend it. Do either of you guys have it?
I have it on the PS2. I found it at Half Price Books of all places, which
There you go.
was where I found usually everything.
Yeah, I
Not
was gonna say chances are. So that's cool. Yeah, it's a really fun game, and it really holds up. Like the cutscenes and everything still look pretty good in it. So yeah, highly recommend. There's like a good. It doesn't let anything get like stale. Like you're switching up styles enough that you're like, okay, the stealth section only lasts so long. Then there's like a heavy combat section. It switches it up enough that it keeps it fresh. So definitely check it out if you're into these kind of games. All right, so without any further ado, let's find out what we're gonna play this time.
Ooh,
gentlemen, got your list ready?
yo. And I did change it this time.
Me too.
You sure? Okay, cool. All right, here we go.
I hope I get games.
If it's not games, I quit. That's the sound of beauty. You know, I love this sound. It's a good thing I don't gamble. This would probably be a really bad thing. But I'm like, well, this is such a soothing sound to me. We got 31. What you guys got for 31? What are you laughing at? What you
I'll let our guest go first.
What do you got, Church?
I got Martha is Dead,
Ooh,
which is like a
PS4.
horror. I don't know if it's a walking sim horror game or if there's a little bit more involved to it, but I think there was some controversy about some censorship
Oh, okay.
or something. Like they
What
went
is
to a
that?
different.
I think it's one of those games where the North American version has like a part cut out of it.
Yeah.
Cheap.
But other than that,
Bullshit.
I think I heard good things about it.
Have to let me know how it is.
Bullshit.
Don't forget to hashtag Backlog Roulette when you beat it. Want to see it? All right,
See,
Chris.
I'll see it when I beat it.
Yeah,
I got a game that I own on 3 consoles.
yeah. We'll see.
Deciding
On
which one
camera.
to play. Is
All
gonna-
3.
Huh? No,
What's that?
I am not named Jason.
Like all 3
sorry,
were-
I'm sorry.
I got
what
Okami.
did you say? Okami.
Oh, okay. There you
I
go.
have it for the Wii, the PS2, and the Xbox One.
Xbox One. Play the
So I'll probably play it on
remaster.
the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I got it on. I think I've got it. I might have all 3 too, actually. Only when I'm, I can see from here.
And I did play this like when
I
it
do have
first
it
came
on
out because I
PS2.
remember I bought it for the PS2 when the PS2 version first came out.
Yeah.
And I want to say I played it for maybe like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, I
And
never
liked
finished
it, but I
either
just
for some reason.
got distracted with something else after that.
I've got it on PS2 and PS4 for sure. I'm confirming it right now, but I'm 90% sure I have it on the Wii also.
I think I got the remaster as well. I got it on PS2.
Okay. I gotta mention that I had set up to play the remember we had to do another
Yep,
spin
I got
last
it.
time because you
Kami
hadn't
H.
updated your list, Chris.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I was gonna do Resident Evil Outbreak.
Mm.
I'd set up to play it, but I didn't have enough time. So
Oh, don't
my
worry
bonus
about it.
game didn't
I
get played,
forgive you.
but I'll still play it when I have the chance because now it's out and ready because I had 2 PS2 games in a row. So
I was hoping that we'd roll 27
yeah, what's 27?
Ghostbusters on the Genesis.
Ooh, well, there's nothing to say that you can't play something on the
I
list
know,
as long as you
but
replace it.
it's almost time to start the RPG year, so
Okay,
can't be distracting myself
busting.
with all
Okay,
these
well,
platforms.
me and you'll have to bust the night away when we start up on Spirits Unleashed in a few days here.
Hell yeah, I'm willing.
Well-
That's the exception right there. Is Ghosts Unleashed or Spirits Unleashed?
Speaking of busting, I'm gonna be busting some car windows with my bare hand.
Bare
Someone
knuckle?
Playing. No. Who busts windows with their bare hand?
Shatterhand.
Nope. Jack Slater. I'll be playing Last
God.
Action Hero on the Super Nintendo.
Oh God, good luck with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear that
Thank
game
you.
is not great.
Well, I happen to own it, so I want to happen to play it.
I love licensed games, and I don't even own that one.
I think it was the last retro game I specifically ordered on Amazon before the pandemic hit. So that's the thing, I guess. But it was because it was cheap. I bet you, even though it's apparently sucks. I don't know. I don't have my own opinion on it.
I hear that the NES version is actually the better version.
Well, who's gonna spot me one of those? And maybe I'll go both. I don't think I have that one.
Yeah, the Genesis and Super Nintendo are the same, and they're
nope.
Like I guess the villains are super like damage spongy.
I got Last Starfighter, but I do not have Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I hear that was more of a platformer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got it on the NES Mini, I'm sure, but I'll try the Super Nintendo one. Here's hoping it's at least beatable or playable. So this one's risky, but I'm feeling frisky. So let's go for it. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe this will be the first time I can't complete one, but we'll see.
So you want to do the most anticipated stuff for 2023?
What you got?
I was gonna say, is there anything you're looking forward to, Church, for next year in the way of either movies or games?
Yeah, like a few weeks to go for
Dead Space
remake. I'm fucking excited. I love that game.
Looking forward to that too. You were with me when I told you I was looking for the Dead Space games, and I found the rest of them when I was out with
I saw.
Rocket Sauce.
I was very happy.
I was actually really surprised that they didn't have them at Punch-Out. They
did have the first one. It was just all sun faded and gross.
Yeah,
and Greatest Hits.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, but
wasn't the third one Greatest Hits, and the first one was like the gross one.
I don't think enough people bought the third one.
I mean, the third one's worth playing.
I made it like halfway through it before I gave up on it.
But it's only worth playing co-op. Like, you shouldn't play it by yourself.
Is it online?
Yeah, it's online co-op.
Oh, Jason, hey, you want to play?
I don't think you can do it in person co-op. Maybe. I don't know if it's couch co-op. No, I don't think so, because basically the hook with it is like you both are like having different hallucinations, and it like plays into like what your characters are doing, and it's kind of cool. Like when you're on, on mic talking to somebody, like, holy shit, you seen these toy soldiers? Dude's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but basically what I'm hearing is that it takes the solo horror experience out of it, like the first two have.
Yeah.
So it's basically, from what I have heard from multiple people, I've never actually started playing the third one, but I think I started it, but I don't think I got very far. But it's basically like Resident Evil 5.
It is more of an action
of
game.
Dead Space, where it's like it kind of takes the horror out, but it's a decent and pretty fun co-op.
Yeah, and playing any game with a friend is always going to be fun, and that probably skewed it. I played it through
like Resident Evil 5. I played it in co-op when I played it the first time, and I really liked it. I was like, this is definitely different. It felt like I was playing a Resident Evil arcade game. It felt more like I was playing like House of the Dead, but if it was like a third-person shooter. So. Yeah, a lot of people dog on that, but I'm like, could be worse. Could be Resident Evil 6.
It could be way worse.
So, there's that. I'm also
looking forward to Operation Raccoon City.
I swear to God, if I play Dead Space and it's not like Callisto Protocol, though, I'm gonna be so mad. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm surprised, Church, you didn't say Diablo 4.
There's too much. I mean, I was just trying to think month by month, just off the top of my head. Diablo 4 is absolutely the thing I'm most hyped for next year, because that's my shit. And I'm super bummed. I kind of hope it gets delayed, because the week that it comes out, it's like the last week of school. I do tech support for schools. The last week of school, you're not taking time off. I always take like a week off for Diablo releases, and
just get a Steam Deck and just get a steamer for. Like,
well, at the same time, people are like, "Well, don't even try playing it." People are all butthurt because Diablo 3 they underestimated the demand for Diablo 3, and basically the first 2 days that game was out, it was like a roll of the dice if you were getting on the servers. Famously, error 37. I dealt with that. I took time off. I went to midnight release. I went home and installed that shit. You couldn't even play it because the servers weren't going live for a few hours still. Got a couple hours of sleep, got up, and for hours I clicked retry for hours and hours for like 2 days.
It's so sad.
Didn't take away from my hype. Fucking love it. Diablo 4, yeah, I'm hyped.
Well, hopefully they have it more sorted out this time around.
There is so many games. Like, I got a bunch of games crowdfunded that are supposed to be coming out next year. We got all kinds of big releases. Forspoken, I'm pretty hyped for. Man,
I'm pretty hyped on Suicide Squad Kills the Justice
Suicide
League.
Squad looks cool.
I need to pay tribute to our boy Kevin Conroy's final Batman performance.
Absolutely.
So that went from like I'm stoked for it to like I have to get that day one, and I'll wear my autographed Batman mask, Kevin Conroy, while I play it, because that's just how I do when I play the Rocksteady Batman.
Dead Island 2. I'm really excited for
I
that.
forgot about that one.
First Dead Island I had so much fun. I played that just with like random people. I played when it first launched. I pre-ordered it.
I was
Had a
watching
blast.
Shondo from the Bad Dude streaming that on Twitch.
I was really disappointed with Dead Island Riptide.
I've got all three of those.
Like Riptide was
360.
kind of bummed me out.
All three of the 360 ones are
Not
not all of them are great.
kind of excited for Resident Evil 4 remake.
Not enough to get the collector's edition.
Yeah, I canceled my collector's edition.
Aww.
I mean, I don't mainly the Leon statue. I don't like
It looked like
Leon. I got the Resident Evil 2 remake statue for Leon, so it's like I don't need two Leons.
They should have done a Claire one then. If they're
No Claire, no. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on that.
It's another hour of them just ranting
About not having a Claire figure or also no Code Veronica.
See, if they really, really wanted to get some money out of everybody when Resident Evil 2 remake came out, they should have had two different ones, one that had Leon, one that had Claire.
Right?
They would have, I mean, and there's people that would definitely ordered it twice.
Well, like I said, they should have had like a two people on the statue.
Or a combo statue,
Yeah.
And the whole point of that game is there's two players and you only give, or two characters, and you only give them a statue of one.
Like
Which is
an
stupid.
awesome action pose, like the last God of War had the Kratos and Atreus like action, like diorama statue. That's how they should have done it. And I said that from the beginning.
But maybe we didn't get Claire because they're going to give us that Cord Veronica at some point.
They fucking better because I
love that game.
People are like, it's the black sheep. It's like, how is it? Because you didn't play it.
Yeah,
For
it's
some
awesome.
reason, it's awesome. It's one of the best.
Didn't get a release on the PS2 for no reason, douches.
Yeah. But another cool game that I'm stoked for is Atomic Heart.
Yes.
It's kind of like a BioShock sort of weird technology thing.
And it's from the same one of the creators of it, isn't it?
No, Atomic Heart's.
I'm thinking of a different one.
Judas was the one that was just announced,
Judas. Yeah, I remember we were just talking
which
about
is Kevin Levine.
Yes,
spiritual successor. I think it's something worth being hyped for. Just the PC community. Last of Us Part 1's coming to PC. There has been no Last of Us Part 1 or original on PC, so that's really cool. Really cool. A lot of stuff, man. There's so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big year again. A lot of stuff finally coming. It's gonna be the year of survival horror. I think there's like a whole heap.
Yeah.
Like Callisto
Really
Protocol
cool.
basically started the snowball rolling. And there's going to be Dead Space. There's going to be all the Silent Hill games coming out. It's going to be Resident Evil. There's going to be
Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty. That's up there at the top.
Yeah, as I said, I think I'll wait till get that, and then finally play my Xbox copy.
Maybe Final Fantasy VII Part 2. Final Fantasy 16 is actually looking pretty cool.
Yeah, 16 is looking pretty awesome. So
there's Hyper Light Breaker, which is the sequel to Hyper Light Drifter, which looks pretty cool. I never checked out Solar Ash because it just didn't look all that cool. Bunch of rumor games for next year, like Lollipop Chainsaw Remake, Lord of the Rings Gollum could be cool.
Yeah, so wonder if James Gunn's gonna to reboot the Lollipop Chainsaw universe while he's at it and not bring anyone back.
Let's see. Yeah, I got.
I'm sounding like I'm mad at him. I'm not mad. I don't care.
I'm really looking forward to
I'm not big
Stargate.
enough on Superman. If I was bigger into Superman, like I know Cavill's like a great Superman. If I cared about Superman, I'd be a lot more mad. But as a character, I don't care about Superman. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
I'm
Still need to
super
play the
stoked for
first
that.
one, but
I really want Forspoken.
You very do.
There's a System Shock remake coming out.
Mhm.
I backed it.
And I hope it comes out
5
for the
years
consoles because I'm not a
it's all-
PC gamer, so
all
I would like I've never been able to play it, so I would really like to be able to try
Okay.
that out. So okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm getting a nice big box collector's
Cool.
edition with it.
I also really am hyped because Star Trek Resurgence is coming out. I'm really psyched for that. And then there's also that Alien Dark Descent.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
More Alien is only a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
After Alien Fireteam Elite, I'm like, give me more Alien games.
Honestly,
Alien Isolation, baby.
I don't think I've played an Alien game I really don't like. I even liked Extinction. A lot of people shit on the Extinction game.
The only Alien game I can say I definitely didn't like was the Alien game on the 2600 because I did not want to play a Pac-Man game that's called Alien.
I can't blame you. I have not played that one, so I'll steer clear. Keep my.
But even like the Colonial Marines one that everyone bitched about, I never got into the hype, so I didn't care. When I played it, when I rented it, I was just like, "This is fun. This is a fun."
If you knew nothing about it, I could see.
I was like,
they
PR
lied.
standpoint. They were dicks. But like when I played the actual game, aside from the aliens being wimpy as a paper bag, I still liked it. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
Alien. I was just like, I like it. It's fun. It's an alien game. I get to shoot aliens. And I found Hicks shotgun. I'm cool.
Yeah, aliens were basically as disposable as like a random zombie for the most part in those games. But like I said, I got the collector's edition cheap enough that I don't know.
So yeah, same here.
I was like, cool, this is a cool game. So my friend was like mad about it. He pre-ordered it, bought it, but then after he bought it, he was like, gonna return it, but he didn't have his receipt. And he's like, oh man, I'm just so mad about it. He's like, I can't remember what he sold it to me for. It was just like cheap. And I was like, all right, man, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was like, I got the statue and everything. I know it should be Ripley in that thing, but
Well, it wasn't even the hype. It was everything they showed in trailers was a complete like bullshit.
Oh,
because
really?
they were basically
The graphics were like way like they're showing like way higher graphics, like way more like intelligent AI, and like it was more like
stuff that was straight up not there.
Like almost like like atmospheric horror, like way more than what it was. Like
No,
Yeah.
it was,
Action game.
no, it was very, like I said, it
when it first
wasn't the best, but I definitely
Broken.
enjoyed it more than everyone made it out that I thought I was going to. I was like, well, I own it, so I'm going to play it, and I love aliens. So suck it.
Yeah.
But it just made Isolation that much sweeter when it came out. So there's that.
oh yeah.
What about you, Jason? Any games you're looking forward to?
Same ones you guys mentioned for the most part. Like I said, the Silent Hill 2 remake, the new Silent Hill game. I don't know when they're actually coming out or if that's next year or not. You guys know my love of Silent Hill. You know my love of superhero stuff. So Spider-Man 2
Silent Hill tattoo.
can next November. I think they said the date was. Whenever it comes out, I'll be getting that the first day. Hopefully, we see more Wolverine. I think isn't supposed to be out till 2024, but we'll see. I don't really go by release dates anymore anyway because everything gets pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
So when they say it's coming up soon, and you're like, oh, I haven't really seen a lot on it. I bet you it doesn't. So it's hard to get hyped for a release of a game until it's like on a shelf, and I'm like, oh, it is out. So that's why I seem to lose track because like if I'm tracking it, I'm just like hurting myself by being like, oh yeah, it's supposed to come out in 3 months.
I'm just high on hype all the time.
Yeah, a month later. So I'm like, I'd rather just be surprised when I see it's out. No,
The
like
one I'm surprised nobody said is Legend of Zelda for the Switch.
Digital Calamity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it, but I don't know, like Nintendo likes to show nothing on it.
I'd have to have a Switch.
I'd have to see a thing about it. Nintendo likes to not tell you anything and then be like, next month it's out. And you're like, I don't.
Yeah, you just get that treehouse thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, what?
They had that.
It's already
They had
out?
that trailer.
The
That
trailer.
recent trailer a couple months ago or a month ago.
What was it? What was that game that I was like looking forward to? And like I heard nothing about it. The trailer was like a year and a half old. Nothing about it. And all of a sudden, it's out in 2 weeks. You're like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm not paying this bill.
But then again, with like Metroid Prime 4, I've had that thing pre-ordered on Amazon for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's the last thing that I should be getting the pre-order pricing on. If I don't get it, I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that before the whole Prime thing fell through.
Yeah. Well, I might have to change the address on it now that I think of it, because it'd be sent to the border boxes. That's how long it's been. I forgot.
Yeah.
So, I'll have to get sent to...
About in the way of movies, you guys looking forward to anything for next year?
I don't really know what's coming out for movies. That's my.
So I put together a small little list, but the second part of Dune.
Oh yeah,
I'm really looking forward to, because I really enjoyed the
cool.
first one. We're talking about Tom Cruise. I'm really looking forward to Mission Impossible.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Dead
that.
Reckoning Part 1.
I thought the third Top Gun was coming out. Damn it.
Damn it. John Wick 4, obviously. I absolutely love the John Wick
It's not
films.
supposed to be out by now.
Yeah, it should have been, but COVID kind of pushed it back.
They should have pushed back Matrix and made it good.
Evil Dead Rise.
Those are
Evil
supposed
Dead
to come
Rise,
out.
yeah, that's one I'm really looking forward to.
Those are supposed to come out on the same day. Was John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 were supposed to come out the same day? I'm like, yeah, you should have kept with that. Matrix. That movie sucked.
I think Church could. How heavily I've gotten into this, but Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
I'll give it a chance. I got zero hype for
The
it.
trailer looks fun. The trailer makes it look really fun.
Trailer looks decent, but we'll see.
As long as it doesn't have Marlon Wayans in it, I think we'll be okay.
Marlon Wayans can do a good job.
Not in that Dungeons and Dragons movie.
No, not at all.
The best thing I can say that shows my thoughts on the 2000 Dungeons and Dragons movie is a blooper reel from a scene toward the end where Jeremy Irons is like in that tower on the castle, and he's like casting a spell. And then if you watch the movie, that when he's up there, all he's doing is just like screaming random things. There's a deleted scene that was on the DVD when I rented it of him standing up there and he's just going la, 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 screaming, and for a sustained 3 minutes.
Wow.
And then finally the director goes, cut, and you just see him put his arms down, and he puts his head down, and he just walks off set.
Welcome.
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm actually gonna watch another trailer if it comes out of the new Transformers.
Yeah, that looks pretty rad, surprisingly.
I'm not big on the Beast Wars stuff.
Me either.
But Optimus looks how Optimus should.
I just like the way they're transforming in this one. Like when they show the big battle scene at the end of the trailer, you see that cheetah.
Yeah.
Like it's running as a cheetah, then it runs up on a big boulder and it flips over it, and as it's flipping it turns into the robot form, and that keeps on running.
Yeah, it's like they actually realized how to get Transformers hyped. Like, I'm happy, like I said to you guys, I know I don't need to buy any figures if it's going to be all like Beast Wars, but then I saw, I'm like, oh no, that Optimus Prime.
Optimus Primal looks pretty rad.
I'm gonna have to, but I don't have any room on my Prime shelf, so that might hold me back a bit. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I need another Prime, but maybe I do.
But the one movie that I cannot wait to see next year, Cocaine Bear.
Isn't it out like right away?
Yeah, I think it comes out in January. That is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen. Therefore, I must watch it immediately.
What about Indiana Jones?
No, you mean Grandpa Henry goes to the farmer's market?
I don't.
I'll check it out.
The
I'll
only
see
thing
it,
that
but I'm probably not going to like it.
the only thing that
hype for it.
intrigues me is like the flashback deepfake stuff.
Oh,
It's kind of well done.
but is he
so-
still going to move like? But he's still going to move like an old man because it's still
the
what's his name
flashback
doing
stuff?
it?
If the flashback stuff actually does something worthwhile,
yeah.
and he doesn't just like voice over it. And
From what I understand, there is a reason why Shia LaDouche ain't in it.
Yeah,
They give like a reason in the movie why he's not there.
he died. Just
Probably, I hope.
abruptly.
They say Mutt got bitten by
He
a
had to
mutt.
return home to his planet. Lifts the cell out.
just a paper craft. Yeah.
Gucci.
And he goes, "Do it!"
Gucci
And
had to
then,
return
"Whee!"
home.
Short round better be in it.
He is, from what I understand.
Awesome.
There was a picture of the two of them of Harrison Ford and Kiki Kwan on set together.
There was
So
3 trailers that
they're
came out on the
supposed
same
to be
day.
there.
What was
And
the
it's
other
hard to
one?
believe that guy's going to get an Oscar nomination, most likely.
Yeah.
The guy hasn't acted in a movie in 25 years. And then he does one movie and he gets
Pick
an
your
Oscar
spot.
nomination.
Pick your
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
What was the other trailer? There was 3 trailers the same day.
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that
Super Mario
actually
Brothers
looks
looks pretty
like it could be
awesome.
pretty good.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a good movie.
I was
I didn't
watching,
watch the second trailer.
I was
watched
watching
the first
Black
one. and I'm
Nerd
ready to
Comedy react to the trailer, and I wouldn't have picked up on it because I don't play it that much. But there's a shot of Peach where she picks up like a spear, and she like twirls it. She's wearing her outfit from Mario Kart.
Yeah, they do like it's gonna have like a whole Mario Kart.
Yeah, there was a Mario Kart thing in the trailer where they're on the Rainbow Road. But like I didn't realize that was her outfit from the game, and he goes, "Oh my god, that's your Mario Kart outfit!" I was like,
Yeah. I think there's gonna be a Smash Bros segment in there. And
There
shit,
is a
too.
Smash. They show that in the trailer. There's a little bit of
Yeah,
a
I
Smash
don't.
Bros.
Like I
thing.
said, I watched the first one and I'm sold. I'll watch it when it comes out. Like I said, I'm just gonna take the kids to the theater.
Yeah,
They're all hyped on it. So
it looks that's good.
Rip Henry Cavill, Witcher season 3.
yeah,
The
season
last
nine.
good Witcher
last
season.
one with what's his name with Cavill.
I'll give it a chance, but hopefully it stays good. But
Liam's Hemsworth. Well,
Well, I mean, I guess
Looks
if
like
you're not a
Cavill
fan of
left
the books,
because
you'll
of-
like it. If you've
Yeah.
never read the books, it should be okay.
as long as it's good, that's
Yeah, that's
But
what turned him off on it was because he
Yeah.
wants it to be exactly like the books, and they weren't
Well,
listening
it's
to
like-
him. So
that's like
"Fuck
his-
y'all."
it's like his dream role, and he quit
Yeah.
it. So that's saying
Yeah.
something. And at first, everyone thought it was because he was playing Superman. And he was going to be too committed, but nope. So I had a couple people be like, "Yeah, I can't believe he quit to be Superman." I'm like, "No, he quit because they." were
that
fucking
other Witcher series starts like in a couple days. The
Yeah.
prequel one, I forget what it was called.
Mhm. And What If season 2 will be coming out pretty shortly here.
Blood
Looking forward to that.
Origin.
Yeah, looking forward to that too.
What?
Huh?
Season 2 of what?
What If? Marvel
Ah.
What If?
Yeah,
Love
and
the first
got
season.
Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania coming out. That's the Marvel movie I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's gonna set up a lot. Kang's
Hopefully,
finally
you've
showing up.
watched Loki before you watch that movie because apparently it references it a lot.
Mhm. Yep. I'm aware of what is coming,
Oh yeah,
so I'm happy to. I'll be happy to see your boy. Someone's getting fucked up. Guardians 3.
yep.
Looking forward to that too. Chances are 90% of the time I'm going to be super stoked on any Marvel thing coming out, but I don't care about the Marvels. I don't care about whatever the hell else. The shows have been kind of losing steam for me.
Yeah, ever since what's it called, Moon Knight.
I liked Moon Knight until I thought like it just seemed like they needed 2 more episodes and they just cut it short. I hated that. They just seemed like you got 45 minutes, man. You better hurry your ass up with all this stuff. And then they're just like, no season 2. I was like, then it needed at least 2 more episodes to wrap up. I was like, oh, whatever. We're getting another season. Then no, we're not. Oh, but yeah, I don't know. Hit and miss. I didn't mind most of She-Hulk, but
Yeah, She-Hulk I enjoyed.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel was hit or
First
miss.
episode was it. The last episode was kind of okay, but nah. as always, I was already so checked out that I was 3/4 of the time on my phone while I was watching it. But it is what it is. Not everyone's gonna be made for me. So, yeah, I think that about does it. I think people are tired of hearing us by now, or at least me. So, thank you very much for joining us again, Church. Always a pleasure. Come back anytime.
Yeah. Honorary enabler, bro.
Yeah, the triumvirate is here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the new tradition yearly that'll never go away. So, I'm excited on it. I'm just a little sad that I wasn't able to be Game Tenants this year, but we'll figure something out.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So is it dead?
It is not dead. It's who knows what's going on.
Dormant. Yeah,
Is it a holding
Sleeping
pattern?
giant or something.
yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, if you stuck with us this long, amazing.
Well, we
Proud
got to go out with a
of you.
bang. It's the end of the year.
Huge shout out to you guys. What'd you guys get for your backlog roulettes? I want to hear too. I want to hear how
Yeah,
you feel
Captain
about
Algebra, what'd you get?
Yeah. Cap, what you got? All right. And that's it for 2022. We'll see you in the new year with episode 31. Holy shit.
Ah.
I mean, you can't really, no one can really cancel this, so it's just going to keep going.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. James Gunn does not own this channel.
Yeah. He's going to recast all of us.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Goodbye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.